Massey on a Thursday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. 201, your time check. Brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Well, three-game winning streak, snapped last night by those powerful Angels.
Cards avoided the sweep again.
They avoided the sweep again, Jamie. That's right. Lance Lynn, not great. 5 innings.
Well, it depends who you ask.
What do you mean?
I mean, did
Ollie say he had great stuff last night?
No. I mean, I'm sure the Angels thought it was pretty good.
Oh, Jamie. Really?
I'm just saying.
That's where you're going to go?
It's not where I want to go, Anthony. Trust me.
Fair. You had to go there. 5 innings.
Winning team.
8 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. Home run right off the bat. Ugly first inning. Set the Cardinals back 4-0. Dead in the water. Brutal all the way through. You did win the series, so
yeah,
that part is good.
It is. Listen, if you're starting to try and find some positives, winning the series was a positive for the Cardinals. What I don't like is that whenever Lance Lynn's on the bump, I'm holding my breath. Like I don't know when it's going to explode. And yesterday happened to be in the first inning.
Yeah.
And it's oddly enough, they were talking on the broadcast from the Angels side about how the Angels had owned Lance Lynn last year. I think they hit like 6 home runs off of him or something. And then the next pitch, first inning leadoff home run.
It's a damn broadcaster jinx again.
I don't know if it's a jinx.
Okay.
It happened.
It was the Sounders.
It was the Sounders.
It's our fault.
We shouldn't have played those Sounders.
Yeah. We got a text from the Water Boy. It was because of the Sounders and that Ollie put the lineup together so late. There you go.
Yeah, I mean...
618 said, how did the Sounders work?
Yeah, 618, not well.
Well, you know what? We're not going to play him today.
Oh, they don't have a game.
Oh, I got you.
There you go.
You're going to play him tomorrow, though.
We'll see. No, we'll play him.
You're going to go... I was about to say, you're going to go back on it?
We'll play him.
Go back. I mean, you can
said...
file a complaint and we can figure it out, but there is a system to this. You don't just go rogue.
That complaint is going to fall on deaf ears. No one.
What?
No one. Yep, exactly.
Go ahead and fill the complaint box out. Put it in the complaint box.
Fill up that box and tell me what happened.
Yeah, we'll get to it. All right. So, Jamie, you had said early, but before we got on the show, you're like, yep, Lance Lynn, the Lance Lynn experiment has not worked.
I don't feel like it has. I know you're going to pull up some numbers. Well, it's not that bad.
That's not how I sound, but that's what I'm going to say.
That's how Anthony, you're right. That's maybe not how you think you sound. Because we all think we sound differently, right? Then you hear yourself and you're like, oh man, that's how I sound?
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Is this that whole thing like when you're watching yourself play later in your career and you feel like you're moving like an absolute freight train?
It's exactly the same, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty much 100% bang on it. And thank you for bringing that up, reminding me. It was a real positive point in my life when I realized I should be playing beer league hockey.
Sure.
But you know what? Joke was on them. They were still paying me.
There you go.
But no, I watched Lance Lynn, and I was one of the people last year that was talking about trade for Lance Lynn. Bring him in at the deadline, like whatever, like who cares? Maybe he'll re-sign with you. And then people, he hates the Cardinals now, and he's all mad. And it ended up where he signed with the Cardinals anyways in the offseason. But I just don't feel comfortable when he's on the bump. I feel the same way as when Miles Michaelis has got his start, is I'm going to hold my breath because I just don't know what version of this pitcher I'm getting right now. And he's supposed to be an innings eater and all this stuff. Like, first inning, he could have been out of the game in the second inning, but Ollie kept him in there. I don't know. I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like this one so far is working the way they anticipated it to work.
What do you think, CD?
I kind of feel the same way. We talked about it going into the season that Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson and Michaelis, how many hits they gave up last year, how many earned runs they allowed last year. And to start the season off, it was pretty decent. Miles has struggled. Kyle Gibson has had some good games here and there. Lance Lynn, we were kind of questioning how he was going to turn out because his first start in L.A., he got out of a jam and, then he had a rain out. And so we were still on the fence. But I think we're starting to see, who these guys are. We talk a lot about, Goldie will come back around, look at the back of his baseball card. Well, you could say the same thing about some of these pitchers. Look at the back of their baseball card. They're going to give up a lot of hits. They're going to give up runs. And I think the frustrating part is, like Jamie said, when you give up 4 runs, I mean, you had an at-bat, you didn't score anything, and in the bottom of the first inning, you give up 4 runs. It's hard for a team that has been struggling to score runs to be in a 4-run hole deficit before you get your second at-bat.
Yep.
And so it's frustrating. Now, this was a bad outing for Lance Lynn. Hopefully, next time out, he can rebound and come back and be better. But you're not going to win games if you don't, A, if you can't score, but B, if you're pitching, which is what we talked about. The pitching was really good first, 6 weeks of the season. If they start to tail off and fall off and show you what they showed on the back of that card from last year, hold on.
So this is where I'm at with Lance Lynn. Like last night, that was incredibly disappointing. For you to win the first 2 games of the series and then to put that effort into the first inning or that performance, that outing, whatever, against them. Like Taylor Ward, good hitter. But they got Willie Calhoun hitting cleanup for them.
St. Louis's own Pilar, batting cleanup.
Kevin Pilar was hitting 5th last night. But Mickey Moniak, Zach Nita, I mean, that is not a good lineup.
They say, who are these guys?
And you gave up 4. So just isolating last night, not great.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the spin, Carey.
I think this comes down to expectation, though. Because your expectation was that Lance Lynn maybe was going to come in, he was going to pitch, he was going to be very good. He was going to be solid for you.
He was supposed to be an innings eater where I don't have to worry. He's 5-6 innings every start.
Yeah. For me,
what did he give you last night? 5 innings.
Give you the innings. Maybe not the solid start.
But you said 5-6 innings. I mean, that's what they told us.
But you can't give up 4 in the first, Carey.
You shouldn't.
My gosh.
You obviously can because he
Well,
did.
he did. You're right. He did.
For me, this is Lance Lynn. This is you sign what you got. Like if somebody said to me on May 16th, following his last start, let's not isolate just the last start. Lance Lynn would have a 4.17 ERA, and if you want to go to the advanced metric route, a 4.39 FIP. I go, okay, pretty good for Lance Lynn. Like that to me is who he is.
So we're talking innings. Well, Lance Lynn's only pitched more than 5 innings once in 9 starts this year. So he's really not eating the innings.
Sure. And that's what the Cardinals signed him for. So for the Cardinals, it's probably disappointing. I'm just viewing it from an ERA standpoint or a FIP standpoint. But his strikeout rate is down. His walk rate is up. His home run rate is only down from a year ago because it was a disaster a year ago.
How much is it down?
So his home run rate last year is 2.16.
Uh-huh.
It's 1.19. That's still not good. You want to be under 1. So overall, this is kind of what I expected out of Lance Lynn. You're right. Ultimately, it's not good enough. But the other problem comes in. It's the same thing we talked about yesterday with Steven Matz. What are you going to do?
Well, you can't do anything.
You have no other options. This was it. You sign Gibson to eat innings. You sign Lance Lynn to eat innings. Your depth isn't good. It's either not ready in the minors or it's not developing like you thought it was going to develop. Matthew Liberatore, who knows?
Is there any concern?
Same situation as a year ago outside of.
That's exactly what I was
You've
going
got
to say.
Sonny Gray and Kyle Gibson's been pretty good.
Okay, so May 16th in 2023, the Cardinals were 17-26. May 16th, 2024, the Cardinals are 18-25.
Wow, it's a big difference. They got an extra win in there.
I'm very rarely speechless, and you guys know I can talk, right? What the hell do you talk about with that? Like you're one game better, and
than one of your worst seasons ever.
And correct me if I'm wrong. If I don't know if you all feel this way, I actually feel like this is better than what we saw last year.
It feels better,
but it's not really.
It's not.
Yep.
It feels better. Like last year at this point, I was like, oh my God, do I have to watch another game?
But does it feel better only because last year was so bad?
Yeah,
But it's not much.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
because the
not
year
much
before.
better
But
now.
it's almost like we've been we've
Conditioned.
been conditioned. That's the word I'm looking for. As long as we've been conditioned, now I'd be like, like last year,
It was a shock to the system.
You're like, what the hell is this?
Okay.
Whereas this
So
year,
now you're like,
it's
Yeah.
kind of what
It's okay.
Yeah,
That's not good.
I think it feels different because it is different. They're finding different ways to lose. Rather, last year they were just getting blown out.
Yeah.
It seems like this year they're losing tighter games and they're not getting over that hump because the offense isn't good.
Mm-hmm.
And then periodically you'll throw in the game like last night where you're losing 4-0
Yeah.
by,
That was
the
more-
second inning.
That was more like what last year looked like.
Last night was last year.
Yeah.
So John in the Snake Pit said, "Wait, Anthony, Jordan Hicks is getting paid $11 million, just like Lynn and Matt's. Isn't this more on John Mozeliak not knowing the difference between swear word and apple butter?"
I was like, Anthony, hang on. I thought you were going to run.
I read it beforehand. Yeah, no, John, you're absolutely right. I'm not going to refute that at all. What I'm talking about with Lance Lynn is you signed Lance Lynn. This is what I expected. To John's point, had you just used that money on Jordan Hicks and, I don't know, told him, unlocked a certain, other pitch that apparently he had that
You
the
don't have
Cardinals
to
didn't.
throw 105 every time.
It would have been better. It would have been better. It would have been money well spent. So, John, to your point, I agree.
I really don't know if Jordan Hicks is the pitcher he is if he's on this team this
Right.
year.
Well, that's the
Which is
problem,
sad,
right?
yeah.
That's sad.
That goes to John's bigger point.
That's a problem.
Because we talked about that with Hicks before. They were dead set on him being a high-end reliever. So all you're doing is looking for evidence now to suggest that he's a high-end reliever.
And again, he got an opportunity to start, but it wasn't really an opportunity. He started that season in the bullpen and got an opportunity, I guess, maybe a couple of weeks into the season to start. Was it 6 games, 8 games?
Oh, when he was here with the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was okay.
It wasn't a
let's
real-
just appease him.
Yeah, it wasn't a real opportunity. It wasn't,
Right.
we're going to stretch you out and put you in the starting line, the starting rotation, and say, we're going to give you these opportunities to be successful. It was, okay, we had a guy go down. All right, we'll give you a shot now, and we'll see how you fare.
Right.
And if
We're
you
not
don't
really going to give
succeed,
you a shot.
if you don't succeed, you're basically just telling us what we already had in our mind.
Yeah, to your point, I don't know if they were working on things with him to be a starter, or to Jamie's point about them appeasing Jordan Hicks. Was it just a situation where they said, all right, fine, kid, you want to start? Here's your opportunity. Sink or swim.
Yeah.
And then when he eventually sank over a small sample size, they said, well, hey, we did it your way.
Told
now,
you.
Now get back to the bullpen.
Told you.
I don't know. I have no idea. But the Giants have unlocked something in Jordan Hicks that he apparently had all along. And the Cardinals didn't realize it. Instead of bringing him back or just keeping him, they decided to sign Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson to one-year deals. And one's been good, one's been average.
The bigger problem is a lot of these guys are blowing up early in the game. Like when Michaelis has his blow up, it's the first or second inning.
Yeah.
Lance Lynn last night was the first inning, but it has happened before in the second inning. And I don't know, because, text line guy told me I've never played Major League Baseball, but I do know what it's like to start a game. In the first 5 minutes of the first period, you're down 2-0. You're chasing the game. Everything changes from there. You want to stick to your game plan. You want to stick to whatever, but you can't because you're chasing the game.
Yeah.
So when you start the game off in the first inning, you're down 4 runs. Your next at bat, guys are pressing. And when there's runners in scoring position, guys are stressed out more. It's a stressful at-bat more than if you were 0-0. And so it changes things. So if people talk, well, it's only 4 runs, you should be able to... But it changes the approach for some guys. It may not be tactically where you're out there going, okay, I have to change everything. But mentally, when there's a guy on first or second and you're at bat and you're down by 4 and it's the 4th inning or the 5th, now you're pressing. We got to get some runs on the board.
Yeah.
And it changes maybe what pitch you're looking for. It changes your swing possibly. I'm just telling you, there's a stress that gets put on the athlete at that point.
That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marshall, Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Brad Thompson, who joined us yesterday, said something about this weekend that maybe was a bit foreshadowing for the Cardinals. We'll tell you what that is next on 101 ESPN.
right now, I think it's still more about what the Cardinals do. Are they taking better at-bats? Do they continue to play good defense? Are they being a smart base running team? And are your big guys going to step up for you? It's more about what they're doing than who you're playing. But you better get things going in the right direction like they are right now, because when you come home after the off day tomorrow, it's no joke. You got the Red Sox, you've got the Orioles, and then you've got the Cubs. You're really going to get tested on this homestand.
That was World Series champion Brad Thompson, who joined us yesterday in the Fast Lane. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Are we going to learn anything about the Cardinals on this upcoming homestand? Are we going to learn if they're a wild card, or we learn that this is just going to be a team that is just going to struggle from here on out?
I refuse to do this.
No, Carey, it's fun. We got 162 games in a baseball
like
season.
I did with the Blues. I refuse to say this is the stretch that I learned. I learned what I needed to learn versus the White Sox. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys?
So that's it.
I mean,
that's it for you.
Until proven otherwise, I learned what I needed to learn. I don't know that I have to sit here and believe that this is the series that I'm going to learn about the St. Louis Cardinals against the Boston Red Sox. What am I going to learn?
Well, that's what we're asking.
Tyler O'Neill is going to be on a revenge tour and try to hit 16 home runs in 3 games?
I mean, probably yeah.
He's going to try.
It's in play.
And then you go play the Baltimore Orioles. Then you get the Chicago Cubs, huh? You want me to know in those 3 series who this team is? That's 9 games, right? They win 2. 3?
So that's what I was going to ask you is, I think that's what we're trying to ask each other right now is, so how important is this next stretch of games, next 9 games?
Extremely. It's vital.
Yeah, because you're playing 3 good ball clubs. Yeah. And to your point, Carey, they could easily get swept by the Red Sox and the Orioles and then scratch out maybe a series win against the Cubs. Or maybe they take 1 from the Orioles and 1 from the Cubs. It could get really ugly.
They could lose all 3 of these series, go 3-6 in this stretch, and be, where would they be, 10 games back at that point? 9, 10, 12, maybe, who knows? I don't know.
It depends, because the wild card, I was shocked yesterday, because I haven't really paid attention, because I'm like, they're terrible. This is not, like, no chance. And what are they, 2.5 back?
Yeah, I don't believe they're going to be a wild card team.
I don't really believe it either, but
6 teams
how many other teams are doing the same crap?
Yeah, well, you know what, Jamie? I'm watching the Cardinals every night.
I'm sorry about that.
Me too. What I see, and I love my Redbirds, not the Memphis. I love those two, but I love the St. Louis Cardinals. And when you just don't win or don't perform, again, you're 1 game better than you were last year when you had 91 losses. So what are you going to lose? 90 this year? 89? Like that's not St. Louis Cardinal baseball. And so the questions start to trickle in, like where are we going? What are we doing? We had the conversation with that we heard Bill DeWitt III last week say some things that really didn't sit well with a lot of people here in St. Louis. And so
why is that?
Well, because it was just, the money we make, we're spending on payroll. We're not making money here.
I think it was the laugh, too.
Don't look here. Don't look. Look here.
This is your fault if we don't get a big free agent.
Yeah.
No.
Go ahead and not show up to the ballpark. Then watch us not spend. This is your fault.
I sort of chuckle at that statement. I think it's funny.
In what way?
He chuckled. He chuckled. He thought it was funny. Yeah.
I thought Marshy had a little more meat on the bone there. I didn't know.
He was referencing.
Open up to us.
He was referencing Bill DeWitt III had.
Yeah. CD.
Cynical.
I didn't hear it. I read the quote.
You sort of chuckle at this team.
You got to hear it. It was very. It was hard. It was a hard listen. It was.
Not great.
And I kind of ranted about it because I I was frustrated.
No, not you.
Yeah, me.
So, ultimately, Carey,
passion.
Carey, I agree with you. There's no amount of, we need to get a couple of months in before we say definitively,
Do we, Anthony?
I don't think the season's...
Coming from Red Goggles guy.
I don't think the season is completely dead. I also don't think the team is good.
So hold on. You don't think the season is completely dead?
No.
They're dead last in their division. The hell with the wild card. Let's look at the division because someone in the room told me the division was crap, but I'm not. That's neither here nor there. They're dead last in the division, tied. Sorry, I don't want to step on the Reds' toes. They're there too. Mm-hmm. They're not a good team, and you are not yet. They're one game better than they were last year when they lost 91, and you're not yet ready to say.
Yeah,
you're not ready to write them off.
Yeah, because do a 4-hour radio show in St. Louis.
You are a believer, man.
The Cardinals fans are just
hey, great group of people.
Great group of people. So we want to make sure they stay.
Some people are still answering the text messages from the 573. You guys are so negative. Can you ever be positive? We have over 100 games left.
I would say that I would agree with that in 2023 when we were just coming off of a season where they made it to the playoffs. I would have agreed with that.
Right?
After 2023, going into 2024, and watching what I watched last year and watching similar play, again, it's been better in some regards. The pitching has. But you all were giving numbers about the bullpen, or was that you, March? You're giving numbers about the bullpen and how they have.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, if you want to be positive, I think that's great. I really do. There is a lot of the one statement that I agree, or the one thing that I agree with in that statement is there is a lot of time left. The counter would be like let's just have an adult conversation as opposed to you guys are too negative. Let's just have an adult conversation about this. What are the things that you see that you think will turn around? Because the offense remains dreadful, and I'm talking about statistically dreadful. The starting pitching has starting to fade a little bit here. The bullpen, we'll get into those numbers. The bullpen has taken a step back as of late. What are the things that you see right now that lead you to believe that there's going to be a turnaround? And I'm not being facetious. What do you think?
I would love to know the answer, because we got a text. We're going to be in the playoffs. Stop being negative. Reality is that we will be in the playoffs. Why?
Okay, right. So now that's just
because you think it is.
You're a fan, and you want to believe. So I'm going to put you in a separate category, though. We're talking about. We're having a full conversation about what we're seeing right now, and what we're seeing right now is an 18-25 team. So as opposed to saying, "Oh, you guys are just negative," provide some optimism that we can discuss. If that's what your statement is, which is just, "Come on, guys, we got to believe," then I would highly recommend you listen to Fred Bird's podcast.
I can tell you,
a lot of dead air.
They don't have an answer. Okay. I have faith in my team, unlike you.
And then right above that, I don't see anything turning around.
All right. I mean, look, you go into the blind optimist category there. That's fine. I'm not being a jerk about it. It's just you are watching your games with the utter belief I will never give up on my team. Okay, that's fantastic. We're not giving up. But we need to talk about what we're seeing.
I have an experiment.
Okay.
Leave us a mic drop. If you are a believer right now, 573, talking to you in particular, leave us a mic drop. Anthony asked you, what do you believe in? Like, why do you think it's going to turn around? Tell us.
I'm genuinely interested.
No, I'm serious. Why I want to hear, too. So get on the 101 ESPN mobile app, click the little microphone, leave us a mic drop there, or you can leave us a voicemail on the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Marshy can pull up the voicemails there. If you're still believing in your Cardinals, tell us why. Tell us what can turn around for you.
There you go. All right. That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We got what's trending next.
The thing I chuckle about is when I see sometimes comments, we got to, not show up to send a message that this isn't acceptable to the owners. I find that one somewhat illogical reasoning.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals avoid the sweep. As Anthony Stalter would say, they lose 7-2 to the Los Angeles Angels. They have tonight off, but they'll take on the Boston Red Sox at Busch tomorrow. Kyle Gibson taking on Brian Bello, 7:15 first pitch. Last night, City SC lost 2-0 to LAFC. They'll take on Cincinnati on Saturday on the road. And we have Travis Feeney of the Battlehawks who will join us at 5 o'clock. For an interview, so make sure you tune in to that as well. Tonight on 101 ESPN, we'll have Timberwolves and Nuggets Game 6 pregame starting at 7 o'clock. We have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this SportsCenter update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, you know what's trending? Janet is trending. She's always trending. And Janet left us a mic drop about our St. Louis Cardinals. I want you to take a listen to it, and then I have a question for you.
I love you guys, but have you been paying attention? Ever since Tony left, the team has gone down, 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 down. Every year, little by little by little, as long as Mo and his philosophy has been installed into the Cardinal way. I'm sorry, I know you get tired of hearing it, but I don't know why anybody's surprised what is going on. If they've been paying attention over the last 10 years, they've seen it.
All right, so that's Janet. My question for you guys is, what is the Cardinal way? When did it start? And do they need to go back to it, or do they need to ditch it?
I think the Cardinal way, to Janet's point, went along with what Tony instituted, which is to play a hard nine. It's all about winning. It's all about building the best team. He also had Dave Duncan, huge advantage. As we've discussed with the pitching staff, he also had Yadier Molina, huge advantage. What is the Cardinal way? To Janet's point, it's probably long gone now. Now, for us not to be paying attention, I think that's a little unfair. Mike Matheny did get this team to a World Series. And you could say that, well, he did it with Tony's guys. Not really. Albert was long gone at that point. They had kind of ushered in a new group. They had different veterans. It doesn't matter anyways.
No, there's so many games to be played. There's no carryover.
They also went to an NLCS in 2019. I don't think that this team has had zero success since Tony left. I think that they have struggled to find their footing, and now they are directionless. So I agree with a lot of what Janet said. But to just say, you guys haven't been paying attention, as soon as Tony left, that was it, I think it's a little short-sighted, in my opinion.
And I don't know. I'm tired of clinging to the historical figures of the past.
Right.
I'm tired of it. Like, well, it was Walt Jocketty's team. Fine. You're not wrong. You're right. Great. Walt Jocketty was awesome. Is he still here? No. Tony La Russa was great. Hall of Famer. Is he still here? No. And he hasn't been here for a really long time. So it falls ultimately on ownership to have hired people who could fill those shoes. Bottom line. And they haven't. Not to the same level as what those guys achieved as far as success. But to your point, Anthony, Mike Matheny did get to a World Series. Well, I mean, what else can you do except win it? I mean, I know you win it, but you also played a damn good team on the other side.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm just alone. I'm just tired of hearing all of the old names. I'm like, man, let's move forward. Give me a solution that's like valid.
Tony's gone. Dave Duncan, unfortunately, is gone. Yachty now is gone. They've ushered in, and now they're struggling with the transition.
Have they
with high expectations still from the fan base, which I think there should be high expectations.
Have they ushered in a new tradition? Because the part of the reason why they brought back Matt Carpenter and Lance Lynn was because they didn't know who they were or how to be in the Cardinal way or how to move forward. All of that comes with it's trickled down, right? The players are the ones that pass that along to the younger players or the next group of veterans that are going to be, the leaders of that team. And those guys, so somewhere along the way, it's got lost in translation.
Absolutely.
How to become a veteran, how to lead a team here, and how to help push a team to be a championship caliber team. That's players, but the onus that goes on the coaches, on the staff, on the upper management, that's part of that as well. Bringing in the right players that are capable of doing that and making sure that everyone is on the same page. Normally, the Cardinal way or whatever way, it does change or shift when you change head coaches, when you change managers. It's no longer that, because that way usually comes from the manager. So somehow along the way, they have lost that part of it, and it just doesn't feel the same. Maybe because I'm older now, it's not as nostalgic when I watch Cardinal games as it was when I was younger, or when they were heading to World Series and putting themselves in position to win it. It just feels different, but that comes with the manager, the coaching staff, and the players. Everyone in that is culpable for that.
Yeah, and to me, I always go right to the top of the food chain. Who establishes the culture first? The ownership.
Yes.
So the ownership establishes the culture by who they put as president. And he establishes the culture by who he picks as his GM. And work your way down all the way to the bat boy. That's how it works. That's how you establish culture.
And somewhere along the lines, I think now this current group, they've kind of lost their way. To your point, they're bringing back the guys of yesteryear to reestablish it. No, you have to establish that. You can't expect Matt Carpenter and Lance Lynn to walk into the clubhouse while they're also trying to win games for you to reestablish your entire culture. It doesn't work that way. You're right. It starts up top.
And you're not in touch with the current players. Like, you're bringing someone in, they're essentially outsiders. Yes, they were here before, but they haven't been here in years. So they're outsiders for, 80% of the roster. That they didn't play with most of those guys. Or I don't know how many guys that were still on the roster when they were here. It's a different team. It's a different mindset. You're trying to bring old philosophies and mindsets to a team that is completely different. You have to figure out who you are now. It can still be the Cardinal way, but it may not be the exact same as the old Cardinal way. The Cardinal way is about winning. It evolves. Yeah. The Cardinal way is about winning championships. I don't give a damn how you win it. If we play good defense, do you hit home runs? Is that how you win? Cool. Do that.
Do it, yeah.
Whatever the way is to win, that's the Cardinal way. It's not, we have to play this way. We got to steal bases like they did with Whitey Ball. It evolves, as Jamie says. It's about winning championships. That's the way. How the hell do we do that? That's all that matters.
Plus, I mean, so the Patriot way, it was formed by Belichick. It was instituted by Brady. Everybody fell in line. Everybody did their job. Everybody
bought in.
Everybody bought in.
Everybody won championships.
And everybody won championships.
Was it still the Patriot way after Brady left and they weren't going? No, you know why? Because they weren't winning.
So it's about
about winning.
It's not about necessarily the organization. It's about the organization at that time. So going back to the Cardinal way, the structure was there because of the ownership, because of Tony, because of Dave Duncan, and then you had certain players that bought in along the way. So you've lost that somewhere, and now you have to reestablish it. But to try to do it like Tony did it, I think would be a mistake. You're not Tony. You're not Dave Duncan. You're not Yachty. You're not Waino. You're not Chris Carpenter. You got to rediscover yourself here and do it on the fly when all the fans are watching and they demand excellence. Not an easy task, but hey, it's your job now.
That's your job, yep.
Yeah. All right, it's Fast Line on 101 ESPN. NFL schedule was released yesterday. What are some things that matter about the schedule, and what are some things that don't? And you might be saying to yourself, well, none of it matters. We don't know who's going to be playing, who's injured, all that stuff. There's actually some things, especially early on in the year, that I think matters. That's next on 101 ESPN. It's Fastlane on 101 to ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. So the NFL schedule was released. And, yeah, it's fun if you're an NFL fan. You're pumped up. You want to see what your favorite team, who they're playing.
Before we get into the matchups with like the meat of it all, what did you guys think of some of the ways some of the teams
I thought it was fantastic.
announced the schedule? Like I told you guys, the Patriots did a short film. It's like a 3.5-4 minute version of Goodwill Hunting. They call it Good Jules Hunting. It was Julian Edelman, Gronk. It was hilarious. The Kansas City Chiefs had the press. They came down and squashed everything.
Sure.
One team had a cartoon. I thought it was pretty cool that they did it in different ways.
Yeah, these media teams are getting more creative.
The Chargers, I think, was my favorite. They did the Sims.
Yes, that's what I was
Is that
talking
what you're
about.
talking about? They did
Yeah.
the Sims thing, and they sort of made fun of each team, and I thought that was pretty funny. I thought the Titans did a really good one last year. They tried to...
the man on the street thing.
Yeah, they tried to redo it again this year. I don't think it hit as well as it did last year, but
Your
they're all pretty
Falcons
funny.
one was a little sus. I'm not going to lie.
I didn't see it.
that one.
You didn't like that one? The Street?
Well, so let's...
NFL Street?
NFL Street,
Oh, yeah.
it
I
wasn't
did see that
bad.
with Bijan Robinson. I thought, that was
But
okay.
Michael Penix is featured before Kirk Cousins.
Uh-oh, Kirk is going to be
Kirk was on there.
But he was featured before. Penix was running with the ball first.
Really?
And
I didn't
then
understand.
it cut to Kirk with his
With his
chain
on.
and doing his dance. But I was like, wait a minute.
Wait, Penix was running and Kirk was on the sidelines?
No,
No.
Kirk
No,
was,
well, he actually was just
kind of.
cheering him on with his gold chain.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Kirk was actually throwing the ball, whereas Michael Penix wasn't really doing much. So
Yeah, but
like-
Kirk was only throwing it like 2 yards.
That's
that
probably
might
They're going to
be
use
fair.
both guys, probably.
Yeah.
I like the Dallas Cowboys. They had the group of people just sitting there FaceTiming. They had Post Malone
Oh,
in
yeah,
one
yeah,
group.
yeah, yeah.
They had Jerry Jones and Michael Irvin and all of them. They were just sitting there. They would FaceTime somebody and they would just sit there. And people were like, what the hell? What is going on here? And then I did like Lewis Hamilton, the
Race car driver, yeah.
did one for the Broncos where he tested different foods from different cities that they would be playing.
Oh, that's cool.
It was pretty cool. He's like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Oh, my God. It was some things he really liked, some things he didn't. I thought it was pretty cool.
I think to your point, Marsh, I think the Titans a year ago kind of put everybody on notice where it's like, hey, you could be more creative with the schedule thing than you're letting on. All right, so what matters and what doesn't? Carey, I'm interested in your opinion here. You played in the league. I always think the only thing that matters when it comes to the schedule is when you face a certain opponent.
Yeah.
For example, if you're going down, if you're a typically cold weather team. Now, I know it's warmer in the summer when you're in training camp and preseason. I get that. But it's still different when you have to go down to South Beach early in the season. Buffalo goes down to South Beach early in the season.
Hard to breathe.
Tennessee, same deal. Like
I'll take my
the
chances.
first couple of weeks, Jacksonville they play Miami plays Jacksonville right away, so Jacksonville will be used to it. But I think that matters.
Yeah.
If you have to go to Pittsburgh and Baltimore late, and you are a warm weather team,
Good luck.
good luck.
Yeah.
Like I even remember, speaking of the Falcons, they went up to Chicago last year. The Bears, not a good team. Waxed, snowing, cold, all that. So I think when you play an opponent matters just as much as if you play an opponent.
I agree. And I mean, and also not just where you play, not whether it's a hot state or a cold state in the winter. The division opponents, when you play them. I was listening to Ryan Clark earlier today. He was on Get Up, and he was frustrated about the Steelers' schedule. 6 of their last 8 games are against their division. All 6 of the games that they have to play to finish the season, 6 of 8 of them are against their division opponents. The
kinda
Browns.
like that.
I hate it. Because
You're gonna get
by
beat
the time
up.
you are tore down,
Yeah.
and you got to face a team twice within a matter of 4 to 6 weeks. That's going to be tough. And then the other 2 teams that they play in those 8 games are the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. So
That's a
that
rough
is
one.
a gauntlet. And so it's not only where you play the team, but when you play them. You want to try to play those teams that are tough as early as possible. You would prefer to have your bye week right dead smack in the middle, because that's when your body, or later in the season. If you got a bye week early, it's those last 10 weeks can be hell. But it's about when you play them and where you play them. And so it's every team is going to have some struggles. There are some teams that are playing. I was listening to BK and Ferrario earlier. There are some teams that are playing 3 games in 11 days.
Wow.
That's tough with the Christmas schedule, and the Chiefs are one of those teams. I think the Ravens are another one.
Yeah, when you're good, though, you know you're going to be featured.
Yeah, but I mean,
When you're good, you're going to be featured.
Anthony, trust me, Sunday to Thursday.
Oh, I get
about it.
Yeah.
I don't. Your body, and then to turn around and have to do it again.
Sure.
It's a lot. So, it's going to be interesting to see, the level of attrition that some of these teams have to deal with all the injuries that some of them are going to go through, how they continue to play well, week after week.
Look, if you're good, you're good. If you're good,
you are until you're
but
hurt.
When you're hurt, you're banged up, or you're a team that is, not every team's a playoff team.
Right.
They're a fringe playoff team. I think that's when the schedule really matters.
Yeah.
If you're catching a break, if you got a little bit of a home stretch early on, if you're playing some soft opponents early on when you're a younger team, I think that helps you a little bit as well. So
does it help you or does it hurt you?
I think it helps because
as
if
a
you have a young
team, you play some of the bottom feeders. You say, "Yeah, this is easy."
Hey, you get a little confidence, get a little momentum
and you
going.
Get punched in the mouth playing a good team.
Well, yeah, very true.
Happens.
So let's look at Carey's Pittsburgh Steelers here.
Oh, we better.
They open up in Atlanta. You do have a bye week at week 9, so
that's good.
You're almost midway through. You got kind of a softer early spot here. You're at Atlanta, at Denver. Then you take on the Chargers at the Colts, and then the Cowboys, Raiders, Jets, Giants. I mean, your first half schedule, you can roll up some wins here, CD.
Get ready, because that second half is going to be a gauntlet.
Yep.
Again, and it doesn't matter. Like when you are playing a divisional opponent, that is not a regular game. That's a team that knows you know them. And especially in the AFC North, it is at least when we played, it was a physical, violent game. And we knew you had to be the bully. If you weren't the bully and you allowed them to hit you in the mouth and not respond, whether it was the Browns, the Bengals, or the Ravens, you were going to lose that game. So whichever team was more physical, more willing to be more aggressive and go after it, was probably going to win that game. But those division games are always tough because those teams know you so well.
You think
What?
Think Aaron Rodgers gets hurt again Monday night, week 1?
The same exact
in San Francisco.
Scenario. Does he run out with the flag? Does he do the whole thing again?
I don't think so. They're in San Francisco, so
he might. You never know with Aaron Rodgers.
He's going back to his home state. The opener, as we know, Ravens-Chiefs, and then the very next night, the NFL's like, we're just going to take all of the weeks now. We're going to have a Friday night game.
Every day.
Packers-Eagles. Friday night. So Thursday night, you open it up.
Is it Friday? Is it going to be a regular thing? No, that's just opening week.
Yeah. They can't interfere with high school football, like on a Friday night.
Wouldn't they interfere September 6th?
It has to be, I believe,
do they care?
Before 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
right?
it has to. They can't. I don't know how it works, but Friday night games are for high school football. They won't have any Friday night games in the NFL.
Except for the first.
What time does that game start?
7:15.
That might be, yeah. Generally speaking, they are. I don't know what the rule. I don't know because it's Friday night lights. It's high school. That day is essentially dedicated for high school football.
Christmas was once dedicated to the NBA, and the NFL
they said the hell with it.
It was also dedicated to a guy named Jesus.
I was keeping it in a sports realm here, Jamie. But you're right.
So I wonder if they can get away with that because the game's in Brazil.
Yeah, maybe.
And
I don't know.
You've heard that, right?
They did it last year, and that's why the game started so early on a Friday because they couldn't interfere with high school football. I did read that.
Yeah, it's something about.
I don't remember when they played on a Friday last year.
It was
on that Friday.
Don't you Stalter me. It wasn't even a Stalter. That was just.
It was just a Jamie.
It had to be around. It had to be around Christmas or New Year's.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Yeah,
it was the Jets and Dolphins.
Yeah, so it was earlier on in the
game.
day. Yeah. But at that point, I feel like high school football.
Usually by Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
High school football is usually done.
That's right. It was in the middle. It was the Jets game. The Jets threw a pick six.
At the end of the half.
Yeah. Was it the Bills?
No, it was the Dolphins.
Oh, Dolphins. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
And by the way, what's interesting about the Christmas games, you brought up the NBA. I saw a tweet the other day, and I don't know if this was like a joke or not, but it is somewhat kind of serious, is that those games now that are on Netflix that we talked about yesterday, if you're watching those games, you can't really flip back and forth from. I mean, you can. You just have to exit out of the app. But if
I'm
you're
sorry,
on,
it's inconvenient for you young people.
extremely
it's not inconvenient.
Back in our day, we used to watch commercials.
Yeah, back in our day, I was the remote.
And we supported the advertisers.
Hey, son, turn it back to the Okay.
Then.
Hey, son, it's a commercial. Turn that back to the other game.
All right,
Dad,
Dad.
I'm busy. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Turn it back.
Turn it back.
Yeah. With a little thump, thump,
Or the
thump.
rabbit
antenna.
ears.
I do find that interesting, though, and I think it's kind of a good idea by the NFL to do that, so you're not clicking out of the game
You will
to flip
sit
back
here.
and forth if, say, you're on, like, YouTube TV or whatnot.
You will sit here and you will watch all of our advertisements.
Oh, yeah.
I won't. I'll click out. I don't care.
And then have to click back in. You might miss something, Carey.
I might.
You're
but
a wild man.
I'm going to watch the NBA on Christmas Day.
Eh.
Basketball day.
Look, that's
We're
your fault.
talking basket.
Carey, we heard it here. Carey likes basketball more than football.
That's fine.
He literally just said it.
That's fine.
Basketball is
my
his favorite sport.
I like the way they dribble up and down the court.
Hey, get Mike Tomlin on line 2, please.
Mike T. He probably likes basketball too.
Okay.
Still going to be mad at you.
Jamie threw out to the listener, hey, if you are positive about this Cardinals season, if you are optimistic, what are you optimistic about? We got some mic drops. Marsh put down on a little whiteboard here. Positives, but I can't wait to hear from Ed, Lisa, Janet next on 101 ESPN. Still time to head down to Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum and take advantage of their hailstorm deals. They had a hailstorm recently. It's forced Auto Centers Nissan to have a huge vehicle sales event. And when I mean huge, I'm talking about 500 used vehicles and 200 new Nissans that have been discounted by thousands of dollars for immediate sale. So right when you head out there, you can find discounts of up to $20,000 off retail value on different sets of new Nissan vehicles and pre-owned vehicles. They need room. They need to free up some spots for more cars to come in, and they've drastically discounted every hailstorm car for immediate sale. They also have lenders on site at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum for financing, and they have financing options for every single person. Good credit, bad credit, it doesn't matter. If you need a vehicle, Auto Centers Nissan will find a way to finance that car for you. Don't miss the largest sales and discounts in Auto Centers Nissan history. Head down there to Herculaneum at their dealership. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan. 303, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers and Anthony Stalter. So let's reset things here. We got a text message again, and I don't know if it's the same person that texted in a lot or it's a different people, but at times we've gotten text messages to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646, about how negative we are about the Cardinals. And they pleaded with us, asked us, or damn near dared us to be positive about them. And I made the point, guys, where, look, we're gonna assess what we see. We're going to certainly give our opinions on it. And right now, the four of us don't feel like being positive about an 18-25 team. What was our show mostly positive yesterday? Yeah, they'd won 3 in a row. There were certain elements that we focused in on that were more positive than others, but otherwise, we're going to talk about how we see it. That doesn't mean we're rooting against the Cardinals. Doesn't mean we want them to fail. It's quite the opposite. We're frustrated because of what we're seeing. So Jamie threw it out there to you, the listener. If you are among the more optimistic Cardinals fans, give us a reason for why you're optimistic. We have given you the reasons that we're pessimistic. So your opportunity now to tell us what you're seeing. And we're genuine about wanting to know how optimistic you are. So we got some mic drops. You guys ready to hear them?
Let's go, baby.
Let's start with Ed.
There's plenty of positive when I look at the Cardinals. I think it's pretty positive, when Contreras come back, that'll help the lineup out. So that's something to look forward to. Those bacon wrap hot dogs at the stadium, I think, are pretty darn good.
They are.
I think that's a pretty positive thing that the Cards have going for them. Mason Wynn, pretty positive. He can be a great trade piece here in the next couple of years when you really have to, tear it apart. So that's something really positive to look at. You have, the possibility of like a Victor Thomas or a Jordan Walker who are down in, the lower A's trying to get right. Of maybe doing, I guess that's a positive, something to look forward to. So, yeah, you add all these things up. I mean, I think the best thing is the bacon wrapped hot dog. Everything else is just, I mean, so is a hot dog. I've never actually had one. I smell them, but the line's always too long, so I don't actually go. Maybe if we all just don't show up. Oh wait, never mind.
I knew somebody was going to end up being that person. I didn't know Ed batting leadoff would be the guy.
Well done.
Very well done.
I think that was snark at its finest, but honestly, he did provide a lot of positives.
If the line is that long for the bacon wrapped hot dogs, they're probably good then.
They are. I've had them before. I usually try and get one every time I go.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn good.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
To try it out next time.
Yeah, I've never had one either.
I mean, if you're going to be at the ballpark.
So is the whole thing wrapped in bacon, or is it just the wiener that's wrapped in bacon?
So the wiener is wrapped in bacon, and then you put it in the dog or in the bun, obviously, and then you can put whatever condiments you want on the wiener, and then I usually put everything on it.
And then you put that. Go ahead, Jim.
Put the wiener. Yeah.
Put the wiener in the buns.
Yes, and then you eat the hot dog.
Is it like the normal side cut buns, or is it like you're dropping the wiener in the top of it?
So
because they get the two cuts, right?
Of course, yeah.
No, you drop it right on top. Yeah,
I like that the best.
You mustard on your wiener kind of guy, or ketchup and mustard?
No, you don't put any of that stuff on.
No, I just like the
you
wiener
put
in its
different sauces and whatnot.
I like it in its natural state.
You put like barbecue sauce and like this other like white sauce, and then you can put some like onion flakes on it too. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hey, it sounds...
It's pretty damn good.
I believe
if
you.
I'm Ed, I stand in that damn line because it's better than watching what you're seeing.
Oh, you know what? Whoa, my bad. We're trying to be optimistic here.
I'm sold.
All right.
Wieners for everybody.
There you go. Let's hear from Lisa.
Hey, guys, this is a really good question. Those people that are optimistic, that's great. I am somewhat optimistic for this reason. Mr. DeWitt did not get to be a billionaire by putting his head in the sand. He did not get to be a billionaire by not holding people accountable. Our team's philosophy is messed up since October of 2022, or since Albert went off of his historic run. They can't hit under pressure. They don't have a pitching lab that BK talks about. They don't have a catching coach in the minor leagues to develop catchers. I mean, Who's making these decisions? Why can't guys come to the major leagues and get better? But I do feel somewhat optimistic that I believe in Mr. DeWitt. If he wants to continue to win, that he will make the big changes, that need to be done. That's me sounding positive today. Oh, and for you, Jamie, go Skip. Thanks, guys.
I knew Lisa was going to do that. She threw a barb at me on Twitter, too, about Skip. She's got valid reasons as to why Skip is a good manager with his former playing background, World Series, all that stuff. But I think she's missing my point of the comparison of, like, one is evil, one is great, and they have the same kind of career so far. One good year, one bad year.
I think she knows the point. I just think that she wants to take you behind the woodshed.
Probably.
With her point.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, she's not wrong. I've said this before about the DeWitts, is you don't have so many successes in life by being foolish or not intelligent or driven or motivated. So maybe at some point they do intervene and changes are made. I don't know.
You guys ready for Janet?
Oh, yeah, of course. You kidding me? Hang on. I'm just checking the time because we want to make sure we have lots of time for Janet.
Janet, go.
The only positive that I've been seeing is that the batters have been trying to just get on base, and then they've been trying to get over and score instead of just swinging for the fences and thinking that they can only score if they hit a home run. So they're starting to play better baseball, but the pitching, the starting pitching especially, is still very suspect. Like I said, the beginning of the year, they needed another starting pitcher, number 1 or number 2. He didn't do enough. Lance Lynn, unfortunately, was not the answer. And having faith in Matz when he hasn't ever pitched well to begin with since he's been with the Cardinals, what a mistake that was. Plus, Michaelis has been going down, not been doing as well. But maybe he can come around. I don't know. But if he does come around, then we have 3 pitchers. Libby is a reliever. He is not a starting pitcher.
About 20 seconds of good stuff to talk about.
Absolutely. So she started off with the positives.
She certainly did.
And you know what? I agreed with everything Janice just said there. I think that when you look at it, I agree. They're not just swinging for the fences. And I think you look at the horrendous home run numbers that they have, and that would also indicate that they're not swinging for the fences. But Janet's talking about them thinking through the game a little bit more offensively, and I agree with her. I do love how she transitioned to all the things she does not like about the team, which is kind of our point.
Well, we let her open the door, right?
Damn right.
Once you open the door,
she walked through it.
Yep.
I appreciated it.
Yep.
She's not wrong. Steven Matz has not been a good Cardinal at all.
But here we are. But again, so here we are back to talking about the negatives.
Lance Lynn.
We're back to talking about the negatives. So to some
Miles
of the
McCollus.
So to some of the texters who text us about being too negative, we've asked you to leave us mic drops about what you think is positive or what you're seeing out of this team that's changing to make you feel like you're positive. We didn't really get that.
Yeah, and we're not doing the whole, like, look over here. Leave us a mic. Marsh will go through it. We have played
Has anybody
negative.
from
573 said you guys ignored his mic drop.
Okay.
Or her mic
Can
drop.
you please go to the 517? We're going to play
573.
I don't care.
Well,
Yeah,
I do.
get
I
them
want to
both
make sure
out.
we get the right one, Anthony.
Yeah, get them both out.
210, 212, whatever it takes.
Right, exactly.
Well, this texter has to leave their name because there's different.
You got to leave your name,
You gotta leave your name.
573
It's
out.
just, I don't know who you are when it's 573 and your name comes through the mic drops.
There you go. So Marsh is telling you he wants to play your mic drop, whoever you are.
We want to hear why
And
you're
we want to
optimistic.
hear from you.
Well, what would you say to the people that use this positive, like, oh, my positive thing is something that happened in 2006 and 2011, and hell, we'll throw the 2019 Blues in there.
I hate it. You know what I would. You know
Don't
what I would
drag
say.
my team into this. They got their own problems, buddy.
They're my team too.
I hate it.
You know what I'd say to them? God bless you. That's what I would say.
That's not a bad thing, Anthony. That's very
That's
nice.
what I'm
It's
saying,
very
yeah.
kind of you.
We got another question from the
Compared to what you
314.
usually say to people.
Well,
Must you guys talk about the Cardinals every single day?
We've tried. We've tried to move on.
We actually did have a day planned.
We did.
Where we were not going to talk about the Cardinals, and Wilson Contreras got his dang on arm broke.
Right.
And we also
had to
realized
talk about
we
it.
only had like 17 minutes worth of other things to talk about.
We've tried. Carey starts talking about NBA, and you blast
Then
him
you
for
complain.
I will blast Carey all day long if he talks about basketball.
it. There you go.
See how that works?
Yeah.
Well, Jokic actually, listen, so you got to see this guy. He's been
Carey,
outstanding.
careful,
Rudy
I'll blast you.
Gobert is the defensive player of the year. Jokic, 3-time player of the year. Offense, and he's just killing him. I don't know what to say. You know, Matthew Rocchio is a Rudy Gobert fan, and I told him that the
really?
Frenchman could not play in the 90s, and he argued with me. I said, Patrick Ewing versus Rudy Gobert.
Shaq.
He would eat him alive. He would just get out the way, little fella. You're too small.
Rudy Gobert would be,
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Rudy Gobert would be on the bench sucking his thumb.
He would just say, you know what, this is too rough for me. I don't want a part of it.
Yeah. I'm not a big Rudy Gobert fan, if you haven't figured it
I'm
out.
not either. But he's won
Doesn't sound like
defensive
it.
player
No.
of the year 4 times. Imagine that. Can't stop the Joker to save his life.
You have it?
I like Joker.
I do too.
All right.
I like
so,
his brothers.
So do we have it?
Be careful. They're throwing fists.
Do we have a name?
Brandon.
All right. Brandon.
Oh, it's Kylie. He's still
BK, you still working? All
It's
right.
Brandon.
Brandon, it's your turn.
Okay, guys. The reason I believe in my team is I learned in 2006, 2011 that anything can happen. And I will not give up on my team. I believe in the players that we have. I believe in the coaches that we have. They will figure it out. They are professionals. They are human. They're allowed to struggle. And the last 4 games, except for last night, have been really good. Now, you know, all this negativity, the players see it. And maybe that affects them. They probably hear you bashing them, Jamie.
Whoa.
Come on, Brandon.
And Carey. And the snarkiness.
Anthony.
Believe in your team. If you're a fan, believe in your team. Get behind the players on your team. That's what the Cardinals fans are supposed to do.
So I will.
Brandon.
So I will
You
say,
guys are way too negative.
Gary, what are you
Listen,
Don't you realize that the players are listening?
Listen, first
This
of all,
is what we've been telling you guys in the office.
If you are a player listening to what Jamie, I don't know how what you did, but I never.
Wait, what?
Never
I played
listened.
hockey.
No, I know what you did, man.
I
mean,
said
I
you
don't
didn't know.
Let me. I don't know if you.
Jamie doesn't let anybody finish.
Never.
I don't know if you listened.
That's not true.
He finishes all the time. I don't know if you. I don't know if you paid attention to any sports media while you were playing. I did not. I didn't care what those people said because I was in the locker room with guys that were trying to win. And if you thought we weren't, the hell with you. The hell with your thoughts, the hell with your feelings, the hell with what you were telling listeners. It didn't matter to me because I wanted to win and I knew I was putting in the work. And if you had bad things to say about me, it didn't matter because I never knew. So if they're listening to us and it's impacting their feelings, that's a them problem. Because what you should be doing, as I did, and I'm sure as you did, is working on your craft to find a way to win a damn game. Not listening to, oh, such and such is talking bad and this. So what? It's no different from what your coach should be saying. It ain't good enough. Ron Washington was your manager. Get the damn bunt down and we win the game. That's what you should be listening to, and that's essentially what you and I are saying. Play better, win games, and if you don't like what we're saying, the only thing you can do to change it is to win. Not picking on you, nitpicking. Oh, you guys think you're not playing well enough to win games. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. So if that's the problem, that's a them problem. The second thing is, I can't believe in something if it's not showing me enough. Like, they're not showing enough day after day. And I'm not just going to say, well, I believe in the Cardinals because I liked them in the 80s. No. I liked them in the 80s. I liked them in the 90s. I liked them in the 2000s. I like them now. But if they're not playing well enough, and winning, why should I be excited about that? And why should anybody? This is a result-based business. If you're not giving the results, nobody cares how hard you're trying. As harsh as that sounds, no one cares. You gotta put together the results for people to really be engaged.
Yeah, and baseball, again, is a unique sport because of the individual battle within a team sport, whereas hockey and football and soccer, even for that matter, you can have a team that their identity is hard work, and they cannot be good, but every time they go out there, you can be proud of the way they're playing because they can physically make a difference with a big body check, with a tackle, with a big block. But you can't do that in baseball. All you've got is a strong at-bat or a good pitcher or a good defensive play. It's hard to make fans excited about how hard you're working to hit a foul ball, you know?
Yeah, or you've got a radio show that maybe believes in you a lot more, and you start to turn things around, which is what Brandon's ultimate point was.
Well,
so it's something for you
I remember
and Carey
Craig
to think about.
Berube in 2019.
We have to be better.
Yelling at the team, and they responded.
So yell at the team, Ollie.
So we're here trying to help.
We're yelling at you guys.
I don't know where your head's at, but we care.
I think that Brandon nailed it by calling you guys out for being
he did call us out.
And negative.
I agree.
I felt a little more stank on that for Carey, personally.
No, actually, he said you first, and I was like, yeah. And then he said, you too, Carey. I'm like, whoa, what did I do?
I think you nailed it.
All right, sorry.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN.
It stinks that we got to do another 2 hours with these guys who.
But, you know, Marsh, I think it's up to us to really turn things around.
I agree.
And provide optimism for when the players are listening and it's an off day. So, you know, we can certainly do that. Mm-hmm. And that is not our, issue. It's not our burden. Mm-hmm. That's what we get to. That's what we get to do.
Mm-hmm. Someone's got to step up.
Good luck with that. Let me know how it works out.
Okay.
All right.
Do some athletes love being athletes but don't love the game? The answer is yes, and that may surprise you how many athletes. That's next on 101 ESPN. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. So Donovan Mitchell, there was a report that came out that he has now since debunked, or Marsh, how do I put it?
He said it was cap.
Yeah.
It's cap. So what is that? It's bunk?
That means it's false.
It's false. It's a lie.
I'll bring you up to speed on the young kid stuff, Anthony.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Still need to,
I appreciate it.
Well, we still need to see the Riz walk.
Oh, I got you know what? I'm gonna take a video.
walks around all the time. And these
No. Charisma.
Every single we tried to tell you that earlier.
Is short for charisma. It's a walk. It's things kids have now. They have the Riz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a video of my son doing his Riz walk.
Please do.
To you.
What we want is a side-by-side of you and your boy, Riz walking.
I can't walk. I can't do the Riz walk like he does it. It is hilarious.
So you and your son, you guys do the Riz. You do the Rizzuto walk. You walk like Riz. You send it to us. I think that'd be funny. So Donovan Mitchell, apparently, according to NBA Central at the Dunk Central on Twitter, Donovan Mitchell grew frustrated with some teammates' lack of maturity, focus, playoff level readiness, and willingness to listen. Again, Donovan Mitchell came out and said that's cap. It's not accurate. It's not right. He's wrong. But it led to a conversation in our 101 ESPN studios where Marsh had asked you guys, the former athletes, whether or not there are certain guys that you guys played with that enjoyed being players, enjoyed being hockey players, NFL players, but didn't necessarily love the sport, didn't love hockey, didn't go home and watch, on off days, other hockey games, or, watch Monday Night Football games if they weren't playing in it. And I knew right away that you guys would probably say, yeah, there's probably a ton, and that was correct, right?
Yeah, I mean, Carey, I don't know if your experience, I know you have, because we all have, and it wasn't just at the pro level, but at the pro level for me is where it really made made no sense, because you should be, dialed in.
Yeah.
And guys that go to practice and then they do all sorts of other things, like not pertaining to hockey. And you could always tell those guys, because when the moment was the biggest or the game was the most important, they're never as dialed in. Mm-hmm. And what's weird about that is there's a lack of trust there. And that's not good, because you're sitting there going, well, he'd rather be doing whatever it is, whether it's video games or watching movies or painting, which are all fine for hobbies. But for me, as my teammate, that can't be more important than doing your job and winning the game. And it always amazed me how many guys had no clue what was going on within the league. We'd play a team and they wouldn't know who's hot, who's not, like what players are injured. And I'm like, how do you not know this crap? But then I thought, maybe I'm just the psycho who loves watching hockey.
I think you should have outside hobbies other than your job, right? Because it is a job. That's
you
what
gotta
we
have
do.
something, for
you
sure.
You got to have something that you can get away from and focus on that, so you're not inundated with so much information and just doing it all day long. But the players that don't really love the game, they're just extremely talented and athletic and God-given ability, but they don't really have, I couldn't afford to not love the game. I couldn't afford.
Ditto.
I had to be dialed into third down pressures and knowing who was blitzing and how they would blitz and exactly what was going to take place. Whereas there are people that do not love the sport that they are being paid to play, and it can be frustrating. Some of those guys are you can see the difference because they have Hall of Fame talent, but they have, undrafted player work ethic or not even a player that should be in the league work ethic. So if you were able to put that talent along with a work ethic and a drive and a will, those players could be Hall of Fame caliber players, but they just don't get there because they don't care enough, and it's not as important to them.
It's not the end-all be-all, right?
No. I had a teammate, a great dude, loved him to death. He would much rather be fishing than playing football. Like, if you told him he could just fish all day, cool, all right. We got practice later on. Okay. Whatever happens. Like, it didn't matter to him because he would rather be doing something other than what he was paid to do and what he was very, very capable of doing at a high level. And there are players like that. And for me, that was, again, I couldn't afford to do that because I had to be dialed in every single day.
No, you're right. And let's go one step further. It's not just the blue-collar athlete that has to be dialed into hockey. Like I think I've told this story before, Anthony. The very first time I met Wayne Gretzky was in the locker room here. We had just traded for Wayne. He gets here. He arrives early because, that's what a pro does. And I'm kind of staring through, looking at Wayne Gretzky's reading USA Today, and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to go shake his hand. I've played against him, but now he's my teammate.
Yeah.
Walk over. I'm like, hey, Jamie Rivers. And he's like, oh, hey, Wayne, nice. I'm like, oh, like, no kidding. Right. I get it, And I say, hey, man, welcome to the team. All these, yeah, hey, Jamie, hey, man. He's like, I followed your career. He's like, you had a heck of a junior career, put up a lot of points. And I'm excited to get out there. And I'm like, what the hell? It's the greatest player in the world, and he knew something about me. Mm-hmm. So either he really followed or he got a cheat sheet. Yeah. I'm not sure. But even if he got a cheat sheet, he cared enough to read it.
Yeah, right.
And but Wayne Gretzky was a hockey junkie. Like, you could play a game with him about any player in the last 25 years. He'd tell you if he shot left or right. Like little subtle things. If he took a face-off on his backhand, if he turned a hand over or just kept it normal. And this is the greatest player.
Right.
And so to my original point, it doesn't always have to be the guys who are, the third or fourth liners or the fullback or the backup guy or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be those guys. But for me, it always comes back to trust. If I know a guy is all in on his sport and certainly on his team, I trust him more with the outcome of the game than the guy that would rather be fishing.
Right.
And fair or not, that's just the way I feel.
Yeah, I think you want even as fans, you want your athletes to also be fans.
Your
it's
best
not
players,
realistic.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
If those guys got it, then they, like you said, like Troy Polamalu was that way. Peyton Manning was that way. Like, just junkies, like couldn't do anything other than that, watching film all day, and that's what separates them from other players that weren't as good.
Yeah,
we got a text from the 618, Johnny Manziel. I think is a perfect example of a guy who liked being a football player with the fame and the money and everything that happens outside of the football stadium. He just never put it together. And then we got another text from the 618 is Jokic, is he the outlier to this? Because I don't know if that guy really loves basketball, but man, he's pretty damn good at it.
Yeah, I don't think both things are mutually exclusive. By the way, you could be a really good basketball player, really good hockey player, really good football player, and not necessarily love the rest of the league.
Jokic, is it more like that he doesn't work as hard in the off season, that people think he doesn't love basketball, or has he claimed that outright that I don't really like basketball?
I think that's the perception, because after they won the championship, he did not give a damn about no trophy. He didn't care about talking to anybody. Man, I want to go home and be by my horses. I want to go race horses, ride horses. I don't care about this mess right now. And I think that's the perception. That was the end of a long, grueling season, a long series. He was probably tired and wore down. He's the best player on the court for all of those games, and so he was probably just ready to get away. I don't think you can be as great as he is without working.
Yeah,
I'm sure he gets his work in. He's not just training horses his entire offseason. And he plays hard. He plays well. He has great footwork. He does so many other things, on the court that gives him an advantage, and he's extremely talented. So I would doubt that he's not doing the work that is required. He just probably wanted to go home and get the hell off of that stage. And all right, I'm done. Thank you. See you.
Check, please.
Yeah, let me go.
So we get a text from the 314. It says, TJ Oshie said in an interview long ago he loved playing but never really watched much hockey. So let me clarify something here.
Football?
What's that?
Oshie.
TJ
Oshie, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Not TJ Hujmanzada. Different last name.
TJ Oshie. He works endlessly. I know, I've worked with him on the ice. He is an absolute workhorse. He adores hockey. All he thinks about is hockey all day long. When he said that quote, it was that he didn't watch a lot of the games around the league, but he watched video from like the Blues games and his shifts and do all that. He is a hockey junkie. And so that quote, in my opinion, was heard the wrong way, because I know TJ Oshie, and like when his career finally does come to an end, which he's kind of in that spot right now with a bad back, he's going to be crushed because that's all he knows. That's what he loves. I mean, look at the guy in warm-up. He has all these different little rituals with every teammate. He does something new and something like a guy that doesn't really care about the sport isn't dragging his teammates into fun little things that he does.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
All right, we're going to play Hot Take or Hot Garbage next. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So you get a hot take or hot garbage for us. Send it there. What's next on 101 ESPN?
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals lose last night to the Los Angeles Angels by a final score of 7-2. They have tonight off, but they'll take on the Boston Red Sox tomorrow. Kyle Gibson will take the mound going up against Brian Bello. 7:15 first pitch. City SC lost 2-0 to LAFC last night. On Saturday, they'll take on FC Cincinnati. We will have Travis Feeney, linebacker from the Battlehawks. He'll join us at 5 o'clock, so we'll talk with him. And then later tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to the Timberwolves taking on the Denver Nuggets. Game 6, pregame starts at 7 o'clock. We have Hot Take or Hot Garbage coming up next, so if you have a hot take you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Hot Take or Hot Garbage coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Boom! Hot take! Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Hot take or hot garbage time. 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. What do you got, Marsh?
All right, this one comes from Grant Francis Fan Club. Hot take, Paul Goldschmidt and should not be Hall of Famers because they've never carried teams to success and have never played well through adversity or under pressure.
Wow. Okay, so guys, let me ask you this, because I don't know if I've ever actually had it clarified for me, but it's not a requirement that you win a championship to be in the Hall of Fame, obviously.
No.
Now, the flip side of that is it's not an automatic that if you win the championship, you're a Hall of Famer.
Correct.
So that's kind of weird how that works, although Eli Manning's going to get in there.
Who had the stats about? Was that you?
Oh,
It
stop.
said Eli was a elite quarterback. Which one of you guys told me that?
I didn't say he was elite.
That sounds like a
Said he's
Brandon
got the same
Kiley thing.
stats
Was
as
that
Joe
you?
Flacco.
Yeah, you said elite.
No, Joe Flacco was elite, not Eli.
Oh, my goodness. This is sick.
But I don't know. I think Nolan Arenado, with the amount of gold gloves and all the stuff, like, doesn't he have a record for consecutive gold gloves? Like, from the very first year he entered the league up until last year, he won a gold glove every single year.
Yeah. So
Goldie's got an MVP under his belt. Like,
yeah, I don't think Hall of Fame should just be about whether or not you lifted a team to a championship or lifted a team.
if you're not going to use the championship as leverage for a guy that just won championships,
right?
It's hard to put it back. Like, oh,
yeah,
well,
you can't reverse course. Was he? I've always viewed it this way. Can you tell? Can you talk about the era of baseball without a certain player? If you can't talk about a certain era of baseball, hockey, football, basketball without that player, that player's a Hall of Famer.
I would say when you talk about that position, like when you talk about the third baseman for the last 10, 15 years, Nolan Arenado is probably the first or second name that comes up.
Sure.
Is there one better?
For what?
Third baseman. For the last
Certainly not
10 to
defensively.
15 years. Correct.
Certainly not defensively.
Manny Machado's pretty
Manny
decent.
Machado, but I
But I
He'd be
wouldn't
the
even.
only one.
And I wouldn't even. He's not the same defensively, but offensively, he's certainly on par. Obviously,
He's made a few good. When he was with the Orioles, he was making some highlight plays for sure.
and he transitioned to shortstop then third. But yeah, no, Carey, that's a really good point overall.
So when you say first baseman, there are more names there.
Yeah,
That
Freddie
you can
Freeman,
say, Freddie, you can start naming them off, right? As
Brandon
opposed-
Moss.
I don't think that would be.
Why?
I don't.
I don't understand. Why?
I don't think
As
that.
a guy, the guy's
You
a
say
25-plus home run guy.
Joey Votto,
Yeah, Joey Votto was very good for
Miguel
a long time.
Cabrera.
Yeah.
So I think there are more names for first baseman. Freddie Freeman, who you said, there are more
Jose
names.
Abreu until recently.
More names for first baseman that you would think
He'll come around. I doubt it. Back of the baseball card.
Nope. Maybe not.
You're right. There's a lot more first basemen overall. All right, so we're leaving Goldie out of the Hall of Fame. Wow. Carey says Goldie, not a Hall of Famer.
Here we go.
I agree with Carey.
No, is.
I agree with Carey on this one.
I just think if I had to choose one over the other, it would probably be Nolan, and maybe Goldie gets in.
All right.
Cardinals Hall of Famer, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
From the 618, hot take or hot garbage. City SC has more wins this weekend than the Cards do.
Oh, how many games they got this weekend?
One.
No.
By the way, they take on FC Cincinnati, who's one of the best in the East. They are 7-2-3 on the year, while City only has 3 wins and 7 ties. But
I'm gonna go hot garbage.
I think the keeper for Cincinnati went to my high school.
I think their head coach is from the area.
Really?
I believe so.
Oh, I do remember that.
I say
think
the
he is.
Cardinals win one game over the weekend. City based on
Push.
Yeah, well, they're called draws, Carey.
Well, not in. We're pushing. We got
Well, if
2
he's
sports.
gambling,
You're
We got 2
saying
sports.
the 2 teams will
Yeah,
push.
it's a push.
I'm saying City will draw.
So then the Cardinals.
Yeah.
You're saying yes.
Cardinals
Hot-
lose
hot-
the
hot take.
series. Actually, wait. I'm sorry. I'm channeling my Carey and Jamie here. I apologize, Brandon. Cardinals going to win the series. They're going to win 2.
Oh,
and City's going to win that game against Cincinnati. So Cardinals win and City wins. Go St. Louis.
All right.
From the 618, hot take. The Cardinal way, we were talking about that earlier in what's trending. The Cardinal way consists of 3 things: a Hall of Fame manager, a Hall of Fame player, and an ace pitcher.
All right, I'm in for that. I'll sign up for that.
If that's the Cardinal way, hell yeah.
Hot take.
Do they have that right now?
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, that's not good.
No.
All right.
But hot take.
From the 314, hot take or hot garbage. The Falcons, the Steelers, and the Vikings, what are we doing here? All missed the playoffs this year.
Hot take.
Falcons,
Not my
Steelers,
Lions,
and
though.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Well, your
Hot take.
Patriots will. So you could say the Patriots will. Hot take.
You know what?
You
We're
got
on
2
the
teams
outs right now.
You got 2 teams. You and the oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
I've got 3 teams, actually.
Who's your 3rd team?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Wait, Carey, you should
my
see
middle
some
child.
That's all right.
You got 2. So 2 of your teams will be out.
My firstborn and I are having some issues right now. Patriots.
They're barely talking.
Barely talking. They've underperformed. And sometimes when you have a child and they underperform and you know they can do better, is tough love.
Yeah.
And right now that child is not accepting that tough love.
Have you seen the reports out on Drake May?
What, that he looks
have
like
not.
crap?
Yeah, kind of.
Who would have thought that?
Carey. Carey, by the way, you got your first stick to football. I saw it in the snake pit.
Oh, good.
You got what? Stick to
He got-
football.
Yeah, he got his first stick to football.
That's the first today.
First today, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say not first ever.
No. That's what I'm saying. First today, for sure. Yeah.
Goldie is better than Nato. Cool. Because the stats say so. Anthony?
Goldie's a hell of a player.
He is. He's just not better than Nolan Arenado.
All right.
In my opinion. It's an opinion. Charles Hudgens in the snake pit, you can have yours.
There you go.
Stick to whatever you do.
That is funny. Why don't we use that more? You know what? Stick to roofing.
Anthony, stick to swimming.
No. He hurt himself when he was swimming.
Well, he stuck it all
He hit
right,
his head.
right to
He
the
did.
side of the pool.
That was his head.
Why did he go
And
there?
blood was
We didn't.
flowing
Marcy.
down.
That's what I'm saying. Why did he go there? I'm
yeah,
asking
I
you
don't know.
guys.
I'm thoroughly disgusted, but
Unbelievable.
Wrong.
Just because you're a swimmer doesn't mean you love swimming.
Wow.
He was more of a diver in that situation.
I was not.
were you blindfolded?
No, I was hammered.
Same thing. You had the Budweiser blindfold on.
Yes, I think it was the bourbon at that
That's
point.
happened to me too.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Of course.
Anthony had his first beer
wake up.
Friday that weekend.
No.
The blindfold's off and you realize what you've done.
Sure.
Yeah.
You rammed your head right into the side of the pool.
Exactly.
Yeah. One time. It was one time too many.
Sometimes one time's all it takes.
Why each NFL playoff team could take a step back, we'll tell you next on 101 ESPN. If your budget needs to be rescued, I've got the perfect place for you. It's Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. They just activated their May Day deals, and it runs all throughout the month of, well, you get it. It's May. That's right. Specifically designed to make upgrading into a new car easier and more affordable. Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum has a couple of different incentives that you can use on select new Nissan vehicles, including 0% APR and payment terms all the way up to 84 months, up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Nissan models, and no down payment needed and 3 months of no payments. That way you could give your wallet a break. As always, all new Nissans come with their exclusive complimentary lifetime warranty, complimentary 1-year maintenance, and 30-day return promise. And when it comes to Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum, they have over 700 vehicles all in one location, so you can rest assured that you will find the perfect vehicle for the style and budget that fits you. Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum, autocentersnissan.com.
In the fast-paced world of digital marketing, making connections is a challenge for any business. But what if we told you there is a place where connections aren't just made, they're grown? Meet 2060 Digital, your premier Google partner and top-tier digital agency. We don't just follow trends, we set them. At 2060 Digital, we're not just another agency, we're your strategic partner. We dive deep into your challenges and develop solutions that drive measurable outcomes. Ready to elevate your digital presence with campaigns that connect? Google 2060 Digital today.
I'm starting my own breakfast club in McDonald's. Me and my morning crew can discuss the most important topics of the day, like what to get with buy one, get one for $1. There's a sausage McMuffin with savory hot sausage and melty American cheese, the sausage McGriddles with soft, warm griddle cakes tasting of sweet maple, a sausage biscuit with sizzling hot sausage, and hash browns that are perfectly crispy. If you love buy one, get one for $1 at McDonald's, join the club. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices of participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
It's Fastline on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, and Anthony Stalter. Why could each NFL playoff team take a step back? Let's do this first. The Kansas City Chiefs are not taking a step back. They're taking a step forward to another Super Bowl title.
Oh, another Super Bowl title?
Yeah.
Okay. They're going to win it all again.
Correct.
All right. If you say so. I'm going to argue with you about it. That's a lot. It's kind of hard.
Hey, Carey.
Yes, sir.
Carey, you don't believe.
Yeah, first of all, you don't believe. Thank you, Jamie. Second of all, they've got Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and I probably just should start off with Patrick Mahomes. So what is your deal? I'm not going to talk about the Chiefs taking a step back. They're not going to take a step back.
They have a lot of off-season things circling around.
One with a receiver.
Rashee Rice.
They got another one.
Yeah, he just got his
Xavier
car
Worthy.
stolen, I think.
Boy, they got some car problems there in
it's
Kansas
not
City,
great.
huh? Or the players do. Anyways, Patrick Mahomes. They're not going to take a step back. Let's talk about these other teams, though. Buffalo Bills.
Step back.
Okay, the why, though? Just because they're paring down their roster.
Their best player offensively, that generally speaking.
Josh Allen's still there.
Okay, their second best player offensively. They traded him away and said, get out of here. And I know they got the young man from Florida State, Keon Cole. I mean, that's cool. Keon Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. But
2 tight ends.
It's awesome.
I actually think
Are
they're
they going to
trying
run the ball?
Well, I think they're trying to build a team that is a little bit more playoff ready. I think they're trying to be more physical.
Are they going to run the football?
I don't know.
And then
Joe Brady's still their OC, so I don't know if they're going to stick to it.
It's Buffalo. We talked about weather being a factor. Playoff football, play good defense, run the football, not with your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Generally helps.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think their window, I don't know if it's closed, but it is closing.
Let's do this. Out of the teams that made the playoffs last year, what team do you believe it has the best chance? And I'm weird. I'm wording this weirdly, but is the most likely to take a step back and miss the playoffs?
I mean, that's an easy one.
You going back to your Dallas hate?
No.
I don't know. You got an easier one?
Yeah, it's the Cleveland Browns because they're the Cleveland Browns.
They're going to Brown?
Yeah, that's what it's the mistake by the lake. They don't enjoy success there very often. I mean, it happens, and usually when it does, they don't know how to continue said success. So that would be the team that I would say takes a step back. I mean, looking at all the other playoff teams in the AFC, I think Miami is going to kind of be where they were. Maybe Pittsburgh, you flop Cincinnati and Pittsburgh depending on how their season goes. Kansas City is fine. Baltimore is fine. Houston, I think, is going to be good again. Buffalo probably still makes the playoffs, but I don't know if they win the division. Between them and Miami could have won that division. They just stunk it up the last. Yeah, they did. They found a way to not win the division. They had to go play in minus 30 degrees in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And how much of an it factor do you think the New York Jets will be in that division?
I was just going to say you got to figure the Jets are going to be better if Rodgers can.
Better.
They're still the Jets. Like that was no fluke that Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles last year. He in a Jet uniform. It just happens. So they're not going to. Yeah. So they're not going to be.
The Jets mystique willed it upon him.
Yes. They're not going to be good, but they're going to be better. You'd have to believe that. Yeah. As long as Woody Johnson's their owner, I could see him winning 9 games.
Somebody was on, I forget, one of the morning shows on ESPN. Can't remember which one, but they said that the Jets are going to win 13 games.
There's no way in hell.
That's what they said.
There's no way in hell.
That's why I'm
Who was it?
I wish I could remember. It was
Name names.
Probably Tannenbaum.
No, it wasn't Tannenbaum. I'll find it.
The former GM for the New York Jets?
I'll find it.
All right. I don't think there's any way the Jets win 13 games. I can see Jacksonville having a better season this year. They're 9-8. I don't think Trevor Lawrence was as bad as what we saw last year, and they've revamped some things.
It was Mike Greenberg on Get Up. He says,
he's a Jets fan.
He goes, I got 14-3.
Well, yeah, he's a Jets fan.
Ask him how many times he's seen 14
I'd like to ask him, but I can't, Carey. He's on my computer.
You got a text from John Denton yesterday.
John Denton's not Mike Greenberg.
Okay. I mean,
no disrespect to John Denton.
Jeez, I don't know why John Denton's got to take a hit.
Well, Carey brought him in.
I mean, I'm just explaining that you get random texts from people that we don't get. We're not privy to.
Yeah.
You and Chuck are, on a first name basis. So
Big Chuck, yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe Greeny texted you and told you that.
I can reach out to him.
Yeah, let's see.
All right. See if we get him on here.
All right. Anyways, why don't we get to the Gauntlet next? I want to win ESPN.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit mastor.com.
4:02, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We do have a returning Gauntlet contestant. It's Mitch, who beat Carey yesterday. What's up, Mitch?
What's going on, guys?
Not much, man. You ready to rock and roll?
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, so you beat Carey. Do you want to take on Marsh, Jamie, or me next?
I'll go ahead with you today.
Son of a... All right, good luck in hockey.
Anthony, you were just saying before, and you're like, I hope that Mitch guy comes from me today.
Mitch, don't. He's lying to you. Good luck, buddy.
You know, just saying. All right, get out of here, Anthony.
Okay.
All right, Mitch, Anthony's on his way to the cone of silence here. While he does that, you got to tell our guy Marshy to spin the wheel.
Spin that wheel.
All right, Mitch, what do you want with Anthony?
I'm hoping for a hockey guy.
Oh, that's a good call. Oh, my gosh.
Asking you,
buddy, you got hockey.
All right, let's go.
I don't know why it always ends up on hockey for Anthony. It's unreal. All right, so while Marshy's getting us the questions here, go over the rules. I'm sure you remember, but just in case, each question is worth 2 points. If you use the options and answer the question correctly, it's worth 1 point. Of course, the wrong answer is 0 points. And if we're tied, we'll go to a tiebreaker, and we will get a winner here in the Gauntlet. Mitch, are you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, buddy, here we go. Again, category hockey, question 1. How many times in NHL history has a team come back from down 3-0 in a playoff series to win the series in 7 games?
Oh, give me the options.
All right. Is it 4, 5, or 6 times?
I'll go with 4 times. Final answer.
Thank you.
The last time a team came back from down 3-0 in a series was in the first round in 2014. Which team did so to come back and beat Anthony's San Jose Sharks?
Oh, man. Oof, give me the options.
Is it the Los Angeles Kings, the Anaheim Ducks, or the Minnesota Wild?
I'll go with Kings. Final answer.
All right, question number 3. That year, the Blues took a 2-0 series lead in the first round before falling to which team, losing 4 games in a row?
Jeez. Give me the options.
Options are the Chicago Blackhawks, the Los Angeles Kings, or the Minnesota Wild.
What was the first one again?
The first one was the Chicago Blackhawks.
Chicago Blackhawks. Final answer.
All right, Mitch. Question 4. When they took that 2-0 series lead that year, the Blues won both of those games in overtime. Name both players who scored those overtime game-winning goals.
Oh, man. Give me the options.
All right, was it Alex Steen and Barrett Jackman, Alex Steen and Vladimir Tarasenko, or C, Tarasenko and Jackman?
Sorry, can you repeat those?
Was it A, Alex Steen and Barrett Jackman, B, Steen and Tarasenko, or C, Tarasenko and Jackman? Shot clock, Mitch. Come on, buddy.
All right. I'm sorry about that. I'll go with Steen and Tarasenko. Final answer.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's call Anthony back in here from the Cone of Silence. How you feeling, Mitch?
Not good at all.
No, eh?
Happens.
It happens. It happens. All right. Well, here comes Antonio. Looking great, by the way, in his Synergy Hockey T-shirt. Man,
I'm waiting to add.
Don't worry. They're coming.
Hashtag
On the back?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag clear.
Anthony, you
camp.
look great in that shirt.
Thank you.
All natural, too.
Thanks.
Very natural.
It's gone from it's mentality.
Yeah.
I'd say certainly, mentality certainly helped. There's no doubt about it. Thank you. Yep.
And good old-fashioned hard work, Anthony.
Thank you.
Which is what you're going to need here today.
Pack a lunch.
Pack a lunch, baby.
A hefty one.
Category
Seriously.
is hockey. I'm not joking. Question 1. How many times in NHL history has a team come back from down 3-0 in a playoff series to win in 7 games?
Options, please.
Is it 4, 5, or 6 times?
Four. Final answer.
Question number 2. The last time a team came back from down 3-0 in a series was in the first round in 2014. When which team did so to come back and beat your San Jose Sharks?
Come on.
That's what the question says. I'm just
reading Anthony.
It says Anthony, but you're Anthony, so I just said you are.
You did it right, Carey.
All right. Thank you.
Options, please.
Is it the Los Angeles Kings, the Anaheim Ducks, or the Minnesota Wild?
Kings, Ducks, or Wilds?
Yep.
Well, the Kings were great at that time, so Kings. Final answer.
Question number 3. That year, the Blues took a 2-0 series lead in the first round before falling to which team, losing 4 games in a row?
In 2014? Is that correct?
Well, that's funny you ask because it literally says, do not repeat the year. They should have listened to the previous question. If they don't like it, play better.
That's why I laughed, because I would have read that.
Wow. Okay. Holy smokes. All right.
Grant's got an edge to him.
You don't like it, play better.
I like that.
I heard it. 2014. I'll take the options on this. I do have an idea.
Options are the Chicago Blackhawks, the Los Angeles Kings, or the Minnesota Wild.
I was originally thinking Blackhawks, so I'll go Blackhawks. Final answer.
All right, Antoine, final question here. When they took that 2-0 series lead that year, the Blues won both of those games in overtime. Name both players who scored those overtime game-winning goals.
Options, please.
A, Alex Steen and Barrett Jackman. B, Steen and Tarasenko. Or C, Tarasenko and Jackman.
Tarasenko and Barrett Jackman. Final answer.
All right. Let's start with question 1. How many times in NHL history has a team come back from being down 3-0 in a playoff series to win the series in 7 games? Mitch, you said 4. Anthony, you used the options, said 4. Answer is
4.
But Mitch also used the options, so we're tied 1-1 after 1. Let's go to question 3. No, I guess we have to go in order because of the way it's sequenced. So question 2. The last time a team came back from being down 3-0 in a series was in the first round in 2014, when which team did so to come back and beat Anthony's San Jose Sharks?
That's what the question says.
Mitch, you said the Los Angeles Kings. Anthony, you said the Los Angeles Kings. Answer is?
It is the LA Kings.
And you both needed the options.
All right.
We're tied at 2.
Way to go, Mitch.
Yeah. Question 3. That year, which was 20.
All right.
So question 4. When they took that 2-0 series lead that year, the Blues won both of those games in overtime. Name both players who scored those overtime game-winning goals. Mitch, you used the options. You said Steen and Tarasenko. Anthony used the options. You said Steen and Tarasenko and Jackman. If Mitch is right, he wins. If Anthony's right, he wins. If it's Steen and Jackman, we're going to a walk-off. Answer is?
It is Alexander Steen and Barrett Jackman.
Wow.
Walk it off.
We got to walk off. I remember those goals. Jack scored from the blue line. Terrible shot. And Steiner scored, I believe, was on a penalty kill. He stripped the puck behind the net and did a wraparound.
That was against L.A.
Oh, that was against L.A.? Yeah, that too.
Tarasenko scored the goal that went to overtime. He scored with like less than 10 seconds
That's
left.
incredible.
Yeah.
All right.
So
here
we got to
go.
walk off. So, Mitch, here's how it works if you're not familiar, and even if you are, we're going to go over it anyways. Got a tiebreaker question here. We'll ask at the same time. Now, don't say anything because Anthony's going to write down his answer. Once Anthony gives us his answer written down, then we're going to come to you, Mitch, for your answer, and we're going to want it right away so that our snake pit and text line don't think you're cheating. Sound good?
Okay, sounds good. Yep.
All right, and it is closest to the pin. Here is the tiebreaker question. Game 1 of that 2014 series between the Blues and the Blackhawks turned out to be the longest game in Blues history. How many seconds into the third overtime did Alex Steen score the game-winning goal? Anthony's writing his answer down here. Okay, we have Anthony's answer. Don't show the cameras yet, Anthony. And we have Anthony's answer. Mitch, what's your answer?
13 seconds.
13.
What did you write down? Let me see that one more
You
time.
gotta show that.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
All right, Marshy. Mitch.
You have chosen poorly.
Dang.
The answer, actually, Anthony wrote down 34. The answer is 26.
Wow.
What did you write down at first? Was it 43?
I was going to write 12.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I was going to write 12, but I decided to go to 34 because it was my football number.
No.
There you go.
And it
Stalter
saved
on the
me.
fumble.
It is.
Come on, you mother.
Marshy usually does it. My bad.
Yes, but I mean, you did it then.
I know. Mitch, buddy, Anthony got you in overtime here today.
Dang, good battle.
Yeah, you too, man. You too. That was tough. But you know what? We both got 3 out of 4 right, so
Yeah,
feel good
I'll
about
take it. Appreciate it, guys.
Couple of hockey guys. Thanks, Mitch.
All right, Mitch, take care, buddy.
Take care.
See ya. All right.
Good
Stalter
job.
on the fumble.
Good job.
Oh, there it is. I didn't do that.
Thanks, guys.
Apparently, he wants you to plug something.
Oh, the pizza.
Make it subtle, Carey. Actually, Carey's got an entire buffet over here.
Hey, I enjoy.
He's got tea, honey, a drink, pizza, a protein bar.
Where did you guys get that?
Toasted Robs. Yeah, Toasted
He's got a
Robs.
leaf.
Just in case. You never know. I don't have any drinks over here, but if I did, make sure you stay hydrated and make sure you have some leave on deck.
And where did you guys get that delicious food from today?
Oh, well.
Antonino's, right?
Antonino.
There you go.
Yeah.
On the hill.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah,
Great pizza.
Really good
We
stuff.
appreciate. I think his name is Chris. I believe Chris dropped it off earlier today. I think it was Chris. And this was all thanks to they got the Guns and Hoses block party on the hill. It's presented by Antonino's Taverina, excuse me, and Karen Karalis, and I apologize if I hacked up that name. Night full of good times, surrounded by better people. This family-friendly event will take place Saturday, June 15th from 4:30 to 10 p.m. They're going to have attractions for the kids, such as a bounce house, balloon animals, first responder vehicle tours, and much more. And then for the adults, they've got the full bar going on, Jamie, 50-50 raffles, live DJ, and the St. Louis City Watch Party. General admission includes 2 drink tickets, Jamie. Dinner provided by Antonino's and Pappy's Smokehouse, and the limited edition Guns N' Hoses event shirt for just $40. All-inclusive pass includes unlimited bar access, dinner provided by Antonino's and Pappy's, and they're a limited edition Guns N' Hoses event shirt for $60. Kids 12 and under are free, and all proceeds from the event will go directly to Guns N' Hoses, which is a tremendous
Yes, it is.
charity to help support our first responders. Don't miss out on that night of fun. Get your tickets now, June 15th, Saturday, June 15th, 4:30 to 10 o'clock. So, and we appreciate it. They dropped off food for us.
Great pizza.
The pizza is incredible.
Toasted Ravs were
Toasted Ravs are
giant size.
outstanding.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
So we appreciate that. They got the Guns N' Hoses block party. It's actually Karen Cares. I read that. I hacked that up. I apologize. So, but there you go. I know.
Thank you all. We appreciate it.
We do.
Hey, Anthony, our listeners know you're in the Orange Reading Group.
I know.
You're fine.
I was dropped down.
He's been working on it.
He has. You're doing a really good job.
You never stop learning.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of me, too. What's my hockey record now?
It's exceptional.
You are rolling in hockey.
Yeah.
You're a
feel
hockey
good.
guy.
I've been reading about hockey.
9-2. Look at that.
9-2.
Now 9-2. Anthony
Thanks,
does
guys.
know.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I love the way this was worded. Does Mo owe us an apology for owing him an apology earlier this season? We have a very specific reason why we stated it that way. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey guys, Jacob here. This is what I am optimistic about for this year's St. Louis Cardinals. And that's all I got to say about my optimism.
My goodness.
All right, Jacob, we hear you. Yeah, so Jamie earlier in the show asked, leave us a mic drop if you're optimistic and you're ticked off.
I don't think we've been getting a lot of optimism from
we did from Brandon.
That was the only one. I mean, we've had like 6 or 7 other callers.
We got another one.
Brandon wasn't completely positive.
Yes, he was.
He came after Carey and I.
Well, he was positive that you and I were...
He was positive that we were negative.
Yeah.
He was positive that you specifically turned off Game 6
which
of
is
the
a
2011
lie because,
World Series.
I was at that game, so I guess I didn't turn it off.
Hey, you probably closed your eyes.
I did. I was actually in L.A. and I didn't see it. So I will say, Brandon, you are correct. Now, my dad did call me screaming and shouting like, "Are you watching this?" And I had to run across the street to a bar to catch the.
What were you doing?
I was taking care of some business. I was in L.A. I was acting at the time. I was in class.
That late at night?
It's L.A. It was that 2 hours.
Late in the evening? Still pretty late.
Did you say you were acting?
Yeah, I was doing acting.
For what?
Carey's been in a movie.
No, I got to hear some of this.
I was acting.
What? Like acted up or just acting?
In a movie.
He was in a movie.
In a movie. I was in some commercials. I recorded some music, Jamie.
The boy's talented.
What movie?
It's called Painkiller. You can find it on Tubi. I've never watched it.
Okay.
Just giving you a heads up.
Painkiller.
Yeah.
You were in a prison, weren't you?
I was a prisoner.
Wow.
Like a lead role.
Yeah. A lead role.
I'm just telling you, man.
I don't know what I'm supposed to believe or not anymore.
I will pull up the information on the webs.
Do you have an IMDb?
I do have an IMDb.
What?
Yeah, you can Google that too.
There you go, Jamie.
Yeah, see?
Stick that in your pipe and smoke
I was
it.
in a movie once.
Were you?
Yeah.
What were you?
A couple of times, actually.
What movie?
That's
wait.
You'll have to Google it.
It's not.
Go ahead.
That doesn't get you an IMDb.
I think it does. I don't think so.
Never know.
We don't need to.
Okay.
Right.
Anyways, Sheldon also left us a mic drop.
All right, guys. There are 3 positives when realistically looking at this team. First positive is the bullpen. They've been hands down the best part of our team. We're 15-0 after leading 8 innings. That's mainly because Ryan Helsley looks unstoppable in the 9th. But regardless, the bullpen has been a rock for us. Secondly, as poorly as we've played, we're only 2.5 games out of the wild card. I know we've joked about it, but it still means that everybody else is treading water just the same as we are. So if the hitting does get on track and the pitching stabilizes, we actually do have a chance to potentially be playing meaningful baseball later on in the season. Third, this goes to the future of the Cardinals. We've got a lot of assets. You know, you look at Victor Scott, you look at Jordan Walker, you look at Tink Hence, you look at some of these younger guys and lower A ball that could potentially be making a difference in the next few years. Along with the young guys you have on the current roster, you've got assets to make moves to try and fill holes in your roster. Whether or not the front office is going to do that or be around long enough to do it after this poor season, that's to be determined. But there are some positives.
All right, so there's Sheldon. One of the positives that he outlined there was the bullpen. Unfortunately, the Cardinals are 28th in runs scored and 20th in runs given up across baseball, 26th in starter ERA, 15th in bullpen ERA. That was the part that Mo was given a lot of credit for fixing. So the bullpen has been great at times. It is now slightly above average. Actually, it's right in the middle. It's average.
Now, is it the bullpen's fault or is it your rotation now again? Like, what has happened here? The chicken and the egg here. Like, last year the bullpen was strong.
Yeah.
Then they weren't because the rotation wasn't going deep enough. Like,
I would say yes.
Okay.
On that one. I mean, 26 in starter ERA, that's going to pull up your bullpen. I think Sheldon, to his overall point, the bullpen is still one of your strengths. It's just not as big of a strength as it was earlier in the season. Maybe because of the starters not going deep.
Well, you also had to rob your bullpen here a little bit. Matthew Liberatore is no longer in your bullpen. Not that he was like some game changer, but he was pitching. He's pitching well out of the bullpen, and now you've had to throw in some replacements, so maybe that's affected it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little, perturbed about the 2.5 game comment about out of the wild card. It sounds, in theory, it sounds amazing. In actuality, there's like 7 teams in front of you. So hey, if you want to be happy about something, fine. We're 2.5 games out of the wild card.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It's better than 7.5 games back of that same wild card.
Holler at me after this.
Or hell, even 3.5.
Holler at me Sunday.
Why? What's Sunday?
They got 3 games against Boston.
All on Sunday?
They got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Holler at me on Sunday. Let's see if we're still 2.5 back.
We might be.
I don't think we're ever going to get.
Lose all 3. It might still be 2.5 back.
I don't think we're ever going to get Carey on board here.
I was really on board more than I think all of you.
Yeah.
Right, which is why this hurts the most coming from you.
This is just me being a realist and understanding that, you play better, you win. Like the question said, if you don't like it, play better. It's talking to you or whoever was on this gauntlet.
I won the gauntlet.
You did.
Anthony, yeah.
But you don't like it, play better. If you don't like how people talk to you, play better.
Carey, I think the difficulty we're having is that not too long ago, we had to physically use a crowbar to get those Cardinals red glasses.
We had to push you into the corner when it came to the White Sox series.
You're not wrong.
So that you would stop using the glasses.
And I told you all then, if they don't win this series, how I was going to respond. Did they win the series?
No, they
Well,
lost.
there you go. Now you get this version of me. Because I won't go back and forth all season long. This is the series. This stretch is the stretch. I know what the hell I needed to know.
You don't want to relive the Blues season.
Nope, too many ups and downs.
Is this the stretch that we figure out about never
sideswipe the Blues?
I'm not sideswiping.
No, it's how we felt. I mean, there were days you weren't here, and we constantly said it. That was our hockey.
Oh, when I wasn't here.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had to talk about hockey still.
Apparently, it wasn't very positive.
Hey, I feel good about this weekend. I'll be boots on the ground for 2 of the games.
Yeah, you will. Wow. You'll be drinking those beers.
Absolutely.
You get
You're
that
1-0.
bacon wrap wiener.
Yeah, he's looking forward to it. Stand in line.
Oh, no.
What?
I didn't realize it.
What?
They're now 2-1 with Mark betting leadoff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with Carey. The season's over with. Smart Six-Pack next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and Window Nation is having their semi-annual sale. They will give you 50% off of all window styles plus 0 interest for 5 years. That's right, 5 full years. And an additional bonus if you schedule that appointment now through May 31st. It is simple. All you have to do is call 866-90-NATION to get signed up or go online at windownation.com. Window Nation, they are truly window experts. Their professional team has over 10 years of experience with a 96% satisfaction rate, which 96% of the windows that they install require no follow-up service. They can install those new windows in 1 day or less, and Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty. If your windows are old, if they leak water, have condensation, or moldy or rotten, maybe they get hot to the touch, or you're just tired of paying the high utility bills for heating and cooling, call and get a free no-obligation quote today. And again, that's now through May 31st. If you do that, 5 years of no interest and 50% off. Call them today, 866-90-NATION, or go online at windownation.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals lose to the Los Angeles Angels yesterday by a final score of 7-2. They have tonight off, but they'll take on the Boston Red Sox tomorrow as Kyle Gibson takes them out going up against Brian Bello. First pitch is at 7:15. City SC lost 2-0 to LAFC last night. They'll take on FC Cincinnati on Saturday. And we will talk with Travis Feeney of the Battlehawks at 5 o'clock. So stay tuned for that as well. Tonight on 101 ESPN, we'll have Game 6 between the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. Pregame starts at 7 o'clock. Coming up next, we have our Sports Six-Pack. So if you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
I have a question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
You guys.
There is so much going on today. It's unreal. It's unreal.
You guys.
Today is one of those days where there's just so much going on.
In the world of sports, absolutely, yeah.
In group chats.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so we got a Sports Six-Pack now. Marsh.
Yeah.
Question 1, please.
For sure.
Question number 1.
From the 636. Would it hinder the UFL's reputation, Carey?
I'm sorry.
No, Chip.
I'm sorry.
Don't do
Go
it.
ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
Do it, man.
I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. From the 636, would it hinder the UFL's reputation if they worked with the NFL to become the quote-unquote minor leagues of the NFL? The NFL could test new rules in the UFL and see how the fans react before adopting the new rule. I know there are some fans in St. Louis who would like to tell the NFL to stick it where the sun don't shine, but I feel like this would work.
I think it would be a good move. I mean, especially if the NFL is going to back it financially. That's the key component, right? This UFL experience and XFL, USFL, all of those things have been wonderful, but eventually it's going to come to a point where more money is going to be needed, especially if you aren't getting the fan base from other organizations.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to look at you. I was like,
so I just think that if the NFL is willing to be involved financially, you would definitely want to have that money supporting them.
Absolutely.
There we go.
I don't think it would be a knock against them. I think they should partner up.
I agree.
I'm sure the UFL would like the NFL, some of the NFL's money as well.
Indeed.
Keep this thing viable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have other teams. Minor league feeder system, potentially. I mean, still going
Does
to be
it need
college
to be
football,
played during the fall? Or is spring still?
No, I think the spring is still good.
I guess you're right, because when you had NFL Europe, that was during the spring.
Yeah.
So
I would envision a spring league.
Wouldn't it have to be in the fall, though? If it's minor leagues, quote unquote, you would be picking players from that team to call up?
No, because I think you still have your fifth. I see what you're saying, because in baseball, obviously, you have a minor league system, NHL season, it runs parallel. But to me, I'm thinking the spring league. The spring league would be, you have like practice squad quarterbacks that never see the field, and then eventually, if they play in the spring league, they get those reps, Jamie.
I agree.
Our listeners are so funny.
You want to read that one?
No.
They get us.
Question number 2.
From the 661, who is the best fictional sports star?
Yeah, Booby Miles.
Oh, actually, hang on. Let me read the whole thing. Since the Cardinals are living in make-believe land, there we go. Who's the best fictional sports star? Was it Booby Miles? That was a real story.
Real. Yeah. I don't think Booby Miles, he might have been.
What? No.
Booby Miles wasn't real, was
That's the original Friday Night Lights book.
But wasn't it based on a team? Like a real team?
I don't know.
I think it was.
Guys,
The
we can
Permian
take better than
Panthers?
Booby Miles.
If you want to win, put Booby. You're probably right. I just like to say it.
Hey, come on.
Okay. You're right.
Goodness.
I didn't hear the question, Archie.
Who's the best fictional movie character?
Sports.
Splash goes Marla Hooch.
She was outstanding.
She was great. She was a great hitter.
She was outstanding.
Okay.
FedEx Brian says the Hanson brothers.
They were very good.
They were very good.
talented in their own unique way.
I don't think we should go Mighty Ducks on this. That the strength of the team was the team.
No, they weren't even professional players.
Well, but
That's
I'm
a
just
good
saying.
point, Andrew.
They played collegiately.
Well, their coach didn't even play in the pros. He was a minor league player.
because
He was a
he
bust.
got robbed.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Triple Deke.
Well, the Iceland coach whacked him on the side of the knee.
well, that was after he suffered his first injury.
Well, I'm sure he would have
with
gone
the
back.
Minnesota Wave.
Wave to those North Stars.
Henry Rowan Gardner is on the text line.
Well, yeah. Before the arm problems.
Happy Gilmore.
He needed Tommy John.
Stamen Willie Beeman.
It's a good one.
He was a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Shane Flacco.
Nah, he's a...
The
Just a
water
guy.
boy. Can't overlook the water boy.
Well, when you help your team win the Bourbon Bowl.
Single-handedly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is the best, though? Like, who is the best? A lot of these players, they're just good feel-good stories,
The best, I mean.
I'll tell you the best
Wild
I
thing.
have ever seen, and unfortunately he got injured, but it's Alvin Mack.
Oh, you are correct.
Alvin Mack, had he not gotten hurt against Iowa,
He was
He would've been- he
He was a
would've been
first
the
round.
best.
He was a first round pick.
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Top 10.
Buckets Award winner.
Yeah.
Going to be.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
This is
Outstanding.
this is a great question for 3.
Question number 3.
From the 314, what's your favorite thing to do on your phone when you're taking a dump? Mine is to set my fantasy roster, make moves. So for all you idiots who play fantasy sports and say you don't have time to set your roster, you're lying to everybody because everyone takes a dump every day.
Everybody poops, Anthony.
Yeah,
Some people don't every day though, and they should consult the doctor. If you're not regular, I'm telling you.
Carey's our fiber expert over here.
You need more fiber in your system. Metamucil, pour it in your drink, get things going.
Get it
Black coffee can help.
Fruits.
Yeah,
Fruits
really,
and vegetables.
like motor oil.
Yeah, fruits and
Motor oil.
Black coffee, yeah, it's just boom, right there.
Okay.
and that's what it looks like after.
Exactly.
Carey, I think that was an outstanding breakdown.
Kombucha.
Literally.
That stuff will run right through you.
Yeah.
The what?
Kombucha. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you are. It's for your gut health.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I thought you said something else.
I don't know.
Scroll social media, I guess.
Generally, yeah.
I answer like emails because,
Really?
yeah, I'm not really good at sometimes responding. So I've tried to take it upon myself now that
That was a good time.
when I'm in there having a Mike Babcock, that. I'll answer some emails. I always make sure that I wipe my Keenan too when I'm done.
All right, let's, on that note, carry this over. More of your Sports Six-Pack next on 101 ESPN.
Is your business phone system a ticking time bomb? Are you operating under the "if it's not broke, don't fix it" mantra? It's Tina from Master. If this is your reality, do something before the inevitable system crash. We've been in the business for 33 years and have seen it way too often. It's painful and expensive. Upgrading to today's technology can insulate your business from big upfront costs and expensive future maintenance. Let's talk. Call us today at 314-997-9007 or visit us at masstore.com.
Hey, when it comes to buying your next new home and you want your dream house, you want to make sure that you have enough up front, why don't you call our guy Stewie? Because Stewie's going to help you out with the loan. He's going to get you closed a lot of times within 2 weeks, if not 10 days. And he's also going to get you to the closing table with a lot more money up front because he's got the bagel loan, Jamie.
Yeah, the bagel loan is Stewie's creation. It's all you need to do is borrow $200,000 or more. And it includes these things: no underwriting fees, no appraisal fees, no title fees, no lender fees, no closing costs. Stewie's there for you. And like you said, Anthony, Stewie can get you closed in as quick as 10 to 14 days, depending on the circumstances. But one thing I love about Stewie is you get that old school customer service. You don't feel like you're just a number for somebody. Mm-hmm. And Stewie, and speaking of numbers, Stewie gives out his own personal cell phone number so that you can call him and talk to him and ask him questions. That number is 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Anthony, you can call him. You can text him. Rainy day, sunny day, doesn't matter. Stewie's going to be there to answer your calls. Tell Stewie, too, that Anthony and Jamie sent you over there. He loves hearing that. He loves being a part of the Fast Lane as well. And if you can't remember that number, Anthony, what can you do?
Well, remember we were talking about the Google? The bagel loan?
Yeah.
You Google the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.
ESPN has your chance to win free tickets to Primus and Coheed and Cambria, playing a co-bill on Saturday night, August 3rd at St. Louis Music Park.
Do you want me to lie?
Find all the ticket details and find that chance to win free tickets for Primus and Coheed and Cambria right now, either at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
All right, here we go. More of your outstanding questions via the Air Comfort Service text line. Marsh, question whatever, please.
Question number 4.
All right, from the 618, obviously Jamie just referred to going to the bathroom as a former NHL head coach. From the 618, can we refer to the inning in which Lance Lynn implodes as the Lance Lynning?
Yeah, okay. Definitely.
Yeah, I like
It's like Lance Lynn roulette. You don't know exactly when it's going to hit, but it's going to hit.
I don't like that.
And they're going to hit a lot, too.
No. I mean, that's the opposite of what, if we're at bat, yeah, we want to hit a lot.
Yeah.
Not the other team. They got a hit. They got hits last night. They just didn't score. And the night before, they did score.
That was the problem. They didn't score enough last night.
Well, who brought Peter Positive to the conversation?
Listen.
You have been so anti-Cardinals the last 2 days, and now I say one thing, and you step up.
I just want my Redbirds to be successful, Jamie.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry.
This guy.
Sorry.
He cares.
That's pretty much it.
He cares a lot.
By the way, the 325 let us know that Booby Miles is actually a real person.
Thank you.
Not sure if he's a great guy, but
we weren't debating that.
How tough do you think Booby Miles had to be growing up?
With that name?
Yeah.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a running back.
Yeah.
In the movie and I guess in real life, but post-football career.
Why do you think his parents called him Booby? Like, they knew, like, that name was, like, doesn't matter how old you are. Like, the Booby word has been there forever.
Mm-hmm. Some names, there was a basketball player, Booby Gibson. He used to play for the Cavs.
I don't care who has
Bob Gibson, and he was a Cardinal.
Not him. Booby.
Mm-hmm. Like a blue-footed booby.
Oh, Booby Boucher.
That's Bobby.
No.
Do you guys know what a blue-footed booby is?
Yeah, it's a rare bird.
It is.
From North America.
Look at you.
Montana area.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
All right.
Montana.
Question number 5.
Southern.
Yeah.
Montana.
Way south, Montana.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good answer.
From the 618. Sonny Gray reminds me of Jake Peavy. Just throwing this out there. What do you guys think?
Reminds you of Jake Peavy from like a pitching standpoint. Jake. I mean, Sonny Gray's very intense. Jake Peavy was always intense. I like Jake Peavy a lot.
You're a fan?
Big fan. Yeah. I like Sonny Gray too. I don't know what connection you're drawing from this outside of maybe just kind of fiery, intense.
Professional pitchers.
Professional pitchers. Mm-hmm. Professional
throwers.
Pitchers.
No, they're pitchers. They're no throwers. Yeah.
We'll have another. Sonny Gray got banged up a little bit. Was able to get the win. He'll bounce back.
Yes, he will.
Yep. As will our Cardinals.
Yeah, what happened? Jamie, you're right. What happened here?
I don't know.
The pizza and toasted wraps are
there's
taking
something in
hold.
the pizza, apparently.
Yeah.
It's great pizza.
Seeing that now. Yeah.
I ain't mad.
This isn't a question, a part of the Sports Six Pack, just like honorable mention. But from the 636, did you guys know Home Alone was filmed at a school?
I did.
That's correct.
It's in a house.
I don't know that it was in a house.
Winnetka. I saw it.
That actual house does exist. The film, of course,
outside of the house.
The film was filmed.
Jamie, I was an actor, so listen, there are outside the stages, you can stage a home or actually just video a home.
Yeah, but that's a stage.
And then when you get inside, it's not actually the same home. It could be anywhere in the world. They could film something here and make it look like it's somewhere else. So
what?
Yeah.
Like a prison.
Like a prison.
There you go.
Those deceiving sons of.
Yep. You got
the house is real, Jamie.
It is.
They did not film the entire movie in that house.
Yep.
Well, of course, they went to the grocery store.
Yeah, they had lots of things.
They didn't get to buy groceries.
Well, like, for example, when the house is flooding at the end of the movie because the Wet Bandits did their thing.
Then they became the sticky.
That was actually shot in the school's pool.
Learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm. They didn't actually flood the house, is what I'm saying.
Well, hold on now.
That makes sense.
The Wet Bandits end up getting their own movie, too. I saw that one.
That was different. So there was a different Wet Bandit.
There was nobody home alone in the Wet Bandits.
Okay. So you're thinking of a different movie?
Oh, I'm telling you. Check it out.
You said they filmed in the pool? How did they get, like, the basement in the pool? Did they take the water out of the pool?
No,
then
great
put the
question.
How
basement
did they
in,
not
and
ruin
then
the
put
cameras underwater like that?
I think everything was shot above the water, but they do have cameras that can go underneath water.
They do.
Yeah, but they built
all of a sudden,
that
Carey's
basement
Clint
in the
Eastwood
pool.
over here all of a sudden.
He's a director.
More like Denzel, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, to each their own.
Question number 6.
Guys.
Might know the answer to this one, but maybe the 314 doesn't. One of my favorite 101 ESPN moments was Carey and Dunk telling us when they knew it was over for them. Dunk and Pawtucket and CD at the bar in Florida. Jamie, When did you know your career was over?
It's an interesting question. I was lying naked on a steel table with my guts cut open. I had a pretty good feeling at that point that things were done. Yeah, even though I attempted to come back, and they told me I wasn't allowed to for insurance purposes. But yeah, having flatlined on a steel table in Croatia with my stomach cut wide open, I think that was a pretty good indicator at that point.
It's time to go home.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Done enough.
Yeah. You can't play anymore. Your spleen is gone.
You can play without a spleen.
You can. They just won't insure you.
Okay. Then
well, mine was a little different because I had flatlined.
Yeah,
so they said basically that I was an insurance risk. Nobody would insure me. I said, I'll sign a waiver. And they said, no, we're good. We saw you dragging that Buick. We're good.
Oh, man. All right.
How about you, Anthony?
When I knew my career was over?
Yeah.
Probably when the guy looked at me and said, you're a second baseman based on my arm strength.
He's like, I was working with the shortstops.
I was working with the shortstops,
Yeah,
remember? Yeah, no. Yeah, it's the Mac, but guys can still run. Okay, thanks. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. That was fun. Everybody feel good about themselves?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Travis Feeney, a repeat Battlehawk guest. He was great a couple of weeks ago with us. We'll talk to Travis Feeney next with our weekly chat with the Battlehawk next here on 101 ESPN. Time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We're scheduled to be joined by Travis Feeney of the Battlehawks, who are now 5-2 on the season after losing last week to the Birmingham Stallions, who are unbeaten in the USFL Conference. Battlehawks still first, but now they're tied with the Brahmas, the San Antonio Brahmas, in the XFL Conference. So this week, our Battlehawks, which we head into week 8 already, Battlehawks will host the DC Defenders and former Battlehawk himself, Jordan Teamu. Really outstanding game defensively, and they did great offensively too, but blocked a couple punts a couple weeks in DC, played well defensively, created a bunch of havoc. So this Defenders team not as good as it was a year ago, and the Battlehawks already up 1-0 on them. Hopefully get a chance to put another victory on the board this Sunday, at the Battle Dome, with Super Bowl champion Carey Davis, former Blues defenseman Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. And let's head to our 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. We're joined by Travis Feeney of the Battlehawks. Travis, welcome back to the show, man. We love chatting with you before.
Welcome back. Thanks for having me back, guys. Appreciate it. Nice. I love it.
It's our pleasure. So look, last week, tremendous game, back and forth against Birmingham. In the end, obviously, you guys came up a little short, but they're unbeaten. So what did they do last week, or what do they do so well that maybe it sets them apart from some of the other teams that you guys have faced thus far?
I think it's just really capitalizing off of mistakes, off of missed tackles, or off of missed assignments. And I think just off of miscommunications, off of everything. I think it was just that game where it was like, this was one of those games where you can't have so many errors, and when they do, they're gonna capitalize on that mistake. I think that was the big thing on there. They capitalize off of errors, and I mean, they're a good team too. I mean, that's one thing. You're gonna get a good tight game, and it just happened to not go our way.
Travis, this is a little bit of a off-the-rails question about the UFL right now, but you guys in the XFL division, and then they've got the USFL division. Is there anything, do you see any differences between the styles of play from these teams?
Man, not really. You got a lot of hungry dudes. I think it's very similar ball. For me, it's a little different. For me, it's like a little flashback playing against some of these guys, because I was in the USFL the first year. So it's like kind of a flashback of playing some of these guys. I think a lot of teams haven't necessarily changed their offensive schematic. I think that was one thing on Birmingham. I think it was very much the same that I saw in 2022. But, yeah, man, it's just different. You got different guys, different coaches, different coordinators, so that was just a new thing.
Travis, you all blocked another punt. You all blocked another punt this past weekend, and I know as a defense, coaches they're always preaching getting off the field on third down. So you get off the field on third down, and then you all block a punt. How much juice does that give you all as a team?
Oh, dude, you're hyped up. You know how it is, going crazy, and everybody's like, "Oh, we got a chance. We're back in it. We're back in it. Yeah." You're like, I'm sitting there on the side, like, okay, I'm just gonna take a knee. I ain't gonna look. I'm just gonna keep. It's almost like kicking that last. That field goal in the game you don't want to watch. But you're just like, come on, we got it. And I'm like, dang it. Yeah. We just didn't come through, but it's okay. It's all right. We gotta get back on it this week and take it all out on DC, man.
Travis Feeney joining us right now of the Battlehawks here on 101 ESPN. Well, you guys certainly took it out on DC in DC, but we know that former Battlehawk, he was one of the original Battlehawks, Jordan Teamu on the other side there. He presents certain issues. So for you guys, as you guys game plan again for DC, without giving away the game plan, obviously, what are some of the components that you guys are what are some of the factors that you guys are really honing in on this weekend as you prepare the game plan?
I think the biggest factors is just us. It always goes back to us. I think it's just always just communication, making sure we don't have as many mental errors, making sure we're on our assignments, making sure everybody's executing at a high level. And I think just being physical, I think that was one thing. We went out there and, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight this weekend. But it's a matter of who can take the most punches. I think just going right off the bat and just getting those first hits and getting vertical is the big thing, getting the push on the line. That's going to be the big thing.
Travis, you guys have
Make them feel uncomfortable.
You guys have had a successful season so far. You know, you're 5-2 right now. And we talk about Coach Becht all the time. We talked to you about Coach Becht the last time we had you on. I'm just curious as to what does Anthony Becht sound like following a loss and then that next week heading into practice?
Oh, man, very positive, man. Very, very positive. Not down, not dwelling on it too much. Just on to the next game, you know, definitely correcting what we have corrected. Take the hard coaching on that. And it was just really a move on from that mentality, you know. Let's check our errors, hold yourself accountable on it, accept where you messed up, and just get better from it. Fix what you messed up, and let's not dwell on it, but let's get these corrections made because we need each other. We need all these guys, and we don't need to be dwelling on the one game when we got 3 left, you know. And it's the end of the season, as our coach said. He calls it the Gauntlet. Coach Glove calls it the Gauntlet of the season. The final 3 games, it's that finish strong, or how are we gonna respond, really kind of deal. And I think that's how Bex went about it this week, and it's been pretty big for us. I like to give myself. It's usually a 24-hour rule, but when it's a loss, I give myself 48 hours. I'd just be too mad. But, you know, now it's just like we're on to this game and get ready to do it.
Now, Travis, I'm an offensive guy, so I always joke with the guys about how thick the offensive playbook is. And then I say, you know, defensive guys usually just have a one-sheeter, find ball, get ball. But,
hey, man, nah, man. You know it ain't like that. You know it ain't like that.
But I want to know what coach.
Especially in Pittsburgh, you know it wasn't like that.
That's right. This is true. I want to know what Coach Abraham is like as a defensive coordinator. Is he you know, run-based, make sure we're stopping the run first, or we got to get after the guys in the pass game, make sure our defensive backs, he's a former DB. How is he as a defensive coordinator?
One, man, he's very, very, very calm. Doesn't really lose it, which is a very good thing. But definitely we got to stop the run. That's what our position coach puts it in right off the bat, and I think it stems from that, to stop the run, just so that then afterwards now we can do kind of more things. You know, you got to stop the run. You know, offense, you already know. You want to get that run started. You get that run started, it's like, we got a game now. Now our play action's going. Now these guys are getting tired. Now these guys don't know what we're going to do, if we're going to pass, if we're going to run. We got screens. We got everything now. Now it starts messing with the defense. When you're able to establish that run, it gives you control on the offense. So definitely stopping that run is the first thing.
And I feel like if you are able to stop the run or conversely run the football on the defense, it's almost a mind thing. It's almost like we're putting our will, we're pushing our will, pushing you against your will. We're forcing you to play the game we want to play. And if you're able to stop it, it does change things for a defense.
Right, man. And that's the thing. Like, you can't let somebody put their will on you. I like to always put, like, Ali versus Foreman. You know, Foreman went into that fight thinking he's going to beat up the old Ali and he's going to dog him and just punk him. And what happened? He got punched back. He got surprised. So, I mean, that's the thing I like to do. Like, we got to just punch back and knock him out and wake him up. Like, oh, shoot, this ain't going to be the way that we thought it was. And when you're able to establish that physicality early on to stop the run, it puts a whole different mindset on the offense.
Travis, when you guys just talking about this, all this stuff intrigues me. I love the in-game stuff, you know, with your opponent and, you know, staring across, looking into somebody's eyes, know that you've beat them. When you're out there and you know that you guys are stuffing the run, like you're owning them, what does that look like from the other side? How do you know that the opponent at that point is broken?
Man, for me, I think it's a look and a feel. You can see guys' shoulders drop, or their eyes are pretty anxious, or honestly, the running back don't want to really run no more. He don't want to run the contact. He wants to just kind of get down and go down fast, or he's looking to avoid hits. There's just so much into it. I mean, if you're able to mentally, if you're a guy who talks a lot of mess and if you're able to get guys who were talking early on in the game and now they're quiet, you're like, oh yeah, now this is my zone now.
Travis, we're looking forward to watching you guys on Sunday at the Battle Dome, man. Thank you so much for joining us again. And
hey, watch it so we can close it, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
When we're in, you know.
There you go.
I love it.
Everybody, we need them all. We need them all. We need everybody there.
You know they're going to be there, Travis. They're, the Battle Dome's going to be loud again.
It's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love the Battle Dome.
All right, Travis.
Nothing like it, man.
Go get it done, man. We appreciate
you. You big boy.
All right, man. Appreciate you guys.
All right, take
Always,
care.
Man.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, man.
Later.
There you go. That's Travis Feeney of the Battlehawks. Was Dick LeBeau still your DC?
Oh, yeah.
So that was. I mean, that was not just one.
No, Carey likes to take a shot. Travis fired it back.
He did. He goes, especially in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Coach LeBeau is definitely not
that fire zone blitz.
But if all things fail on defense, find ball, get ball.
Sure.
You can always revert back to the one sheet you do have.
Yeah.
Find ball, get ball.
I like that Travis got back.
I like that too.
Yep. Battlehawks play this Sunday at the Battle Dome. It'll be 11 o'clock kickoff. DC, the Battlehawks, and as Travis just told you, man, win and in.
I love it.
It's going to be great. How much does the media influence our perception of players? You know, like the media, like Carey and Jamie. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and if you're a contractor or you own a business that needs recycling, then you need to hear about my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metals. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. They understand that job site cleanup for contractors can be a mess, so if you set up a business account with Scrap Mart Metals, they can recycle that metal, and it's one less thing you will have to do. If you own heavy equipment, you know how frustrating it is. It often needs repairs, and there will come a time where you got to end that suffering and just haul it away. Scrap Mart will come get it out of your way. They'll haul your equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you want to haul it away yourself, they have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, and Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. Copper, wire, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, batteries, electric motors, steel, and cast iron. It is recycling made easy. They offer a convenient drive-on scale, and they have the highest payout, and you will always get top dollar for your scrap metals. Just visit them online at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to make it easier. Again, that's scrapmartmetals.com, and tell them Carey sent you.
the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. You guys having fun today?
I'm having a really good time.
Having a great day.
It's been a great show.
Everybody loving life?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
What's not to love, Anthony?
Good,
man.
Good day. How about you, Anthony? Are you having a good day?
I have laughed a lot today. How much does the media influence our perception of players? So we were having this conversation earlier about certain Cardinals players, Jordan Walker, some of the young guys. I think that this spans though any sport. I think that when it comes to young players specifically, yes, we in the media or national media can influence our perception of a player. But I also think draft status is the number one factor when it comes to building our initial perception about a player. And I'll give you a perfect example of this. In the NFL, if you're taken in the first round, it's not just NFL specific. Anybody that's taken in the first round, we typically jump to the conclusion of they need to be a star. They need to be a stud. Maybe not a Hall of Famer, but they need to be a legit dude. Jamie, you had mentioned this yesterday about the Cardinals and the homegrown players and how Mo continues to whiff. And they can't develop these guys. They developed Brendan Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's hurt right now, but they have developed Tommy Edman. Nolan Gorman is at the big league level now. This is not his first year. It's Mason Wynn's first year, but he looks like he's going to stick.
Mm-hmm.
The two guys I mentioned first, Donovan and Tommy Edman, we're not talking about first-round picks. But yet we key in on who? Jordan Walker. Why? Because the perception is this guy has got to be an absolute stud. Why not? He was in the first round. I'm not being critical of this line of thinking because I've got it too. But we tend to just have this high expectation of players when they're taken in the first round, and then you listen to the media. So it's almost like it runs parallel. Then you listen to the media, whether it's us locally, nationally, talking about a certain player. Then that perception and that expectation builds, and a lot of times we haven't even seen that player.
Yeah.
So I absolutely think that us, the media, influence what the perception is of fans for a certain player. But I also think the draft status is a huge impact, has a huge impact on that.
Yeah, I'm of the different opinion when it comes to the draft. And I've said it before because people they get all wowed over, we picked up another first round or another second. It doesn't mean the player's going to be any good.
No, you're right.
It doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a prove it to me type of guy. I've seen plenty of players drafted in third,
you're in the show me state,
fourth, fifth, sixth round that show up and end up having great careers, better careers than the first rounder ever had. So You're right, though. It starts with the draft, especially when you're talking the NFL. And, the NHL, to a certain point, your top 10 picks, pretty much. After that, it's still impressive. But in the NFL, look at the way they handle the draft. The first round is a spectacle. So, yeah, you're right away. You have that. But I also look at the media a lot like certain coaches. And in the fact that, and this, CD, you got some coaches that can watch a game and find all of the awesome things you did, or in the same exact game, find all the mistakes you made.
Oh, man.
And it depends what kind of mood they're in.
Oh, yeah.
Because then the next day for your video session, you walk in there and the coach has pulled, all your good plays. And you're like, man, I had a good game. Or he's pulled all your bad plays and you're like, I'm going to retire. I'm terrible.
Yeah, right.
And so the media sometimes has the same power to where they'll highlight, if a player has 3 or 4 good plays in a game, they'll highlight 3 or 4 bad ones.
Yeah.
And then you're like, man, that guy sucks.
Right.
And so that's another way the media can sometimes influence.
Kind of spin things.
I think it's important to make sure that our job is to be fair and be honest and show both sides of it. I think a lot about when we talked about this, I don't know if you all remember JaVale McGee, basketball player, played with the Warriors, played with the Lakers. Yep. Him and Shaq almost got into a fight. Like, he wanted to fight Shaq because Shaq would always put him on Shaqtin' a Fool, the segment that he has at the end. And JaVale was telling him, like, I'm playing really good basketball, but you're showing one or two clips a game or every other night that are terrible. Sure. But 90% of the game is really good, and it's impacting how other teams are looking at me because they're not watching the entire game. They're just seeing your clips on Shaq and the Fool. So it is important, and Shaq even apologized for it. He said, you know what, I didn't think about it like that. I'm just having fun, but it can impact your career, and it possibly was. So I think it's important that you talk about what you see, because what we see is what I want to report on. I don't know what guys got going on off the field or off the court or off the ice, but what you see on film is what it is. And if it's more good plays than bad plays, you give that guy credit. But if you're struggling offensively, like Paul Goldschmidt was looking out of sorts and didn't have a hit until, the 12th or 13th of May. Like, that's not wrong for us to say, hey, he's struggling up here. It's not great. This is not good ball. That's honest. And so, does that make other people shift their narrative? Maybe, maybe not. But what you're seeing and what you're saying is correct. So, we do have an ability to, I guess, assist in one way or the other with players and how they're perceived. But at the end of the day, if the player is playing well, that's the narrative. That's the only thing that really matters. If you're playing well, then that's what people talk about.
Yeah, but you're right. But the only thing that changes that slightly, Carey, is like if people go on Twitter and somebody takes one small clip of the game. So let's say you had 2 touchdowns, had a couple of bone-crushing blocks. You guys win. Just a great game for you. But you also have a screen pass out in the flat, and you bobble it around, and the guy drills you, and then the ball pops up, and whatever. And then, but that's the clip they show. Somebody who's not following the whole time is like, man, that Carey Davis, he sucks. Yeah, that guy, what a joke. But that's the influence there, right? Because then it gets clicks because it's funny or it's outrageous or it's something.
I don't think it's funny, Carey.
Nah. Well, I was using it as an example.
It happens.
Anthony.
He could have said himself. He could have said,
listen,
made a terrible pass in my own zone.
100%.
Over
used you as an example.
Got it passed it through, and the guy put it right in the top shelf. 100%. Or like behind the back pass onto somebody's tape for a breakaway. Yeah, it happens.
To the other team.
To the other team.
Oh,
yeah.
That didn't go over well in film.
No, it didn't. But if that was the only clip that's put
that's
on.
what they would think you are.
People are like, look at this guy. Who's this clown?
He's terrible.
This guy sucks.
Which is why, as a professional athlete, you don't listen to the media or get on the internet. Duh.
Well,
only after you had a good game.
Well,
only after you had a good game. That's the rule. If you stink, you stay off of it. You delete it for the night till you get to come back.
But, I mean, the 101 ESPN Sports app, it's free. You can win prizes and things like that the longer you listen to. So I actually think that it's smarter to just listen all day.
All right. I agree.
And we'll say nice things about the players. We got that recommendation earlier. We'll turn things around. Biggest question of the day is next, right here on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals lost to the Los Angeles Angels last night by a final score of 7-2. They are off today, but they'll take on the Red Sox tomorrow, 7:15 first pitch. Kyle Gibson will take the mound. City SC lost 2-0 last night to LAFC. On Saturday, they'll go up against FC Cincinnati. We had Travis Feeney on the show not too long ago, linebacker from your St. Louis Battlehawks. They'll take on the DC Defenders this upcoming weekend. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tonight on 101 ESPN, we have the Timberwolves and the Nuggets Game 6. Pregame starts at 7 o'clock. We have our biggest question of the day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, here's Andrew Marsh with your biggest question of the day.
All right, we got a question earlier from Pete. Not so much a question, but a statement, and I'll turn it into a question. And then we have another question, too. So technically two biggest questions of the day. I know, right? Okay, this one's from Pete. There's nothing on the field that suggests that we'll make the playoffs, the Cardinals, that is. That's fair. On the other side of that is knowing that we have good talent that can compete in this division and ultimately win it. The division is terrible, and we're way better than this. You guys call it way too fast when there's time and a legit amount of talent on this team, unlike the Angels. This isn't blind faith in them. This is really what it is. I can't make you see this, but it's there. So the question I have for you guys is, how long can you ride the division sucks narrative until you can't?
I had a question. What's the texter's name? Hey, did you get a name?
Pete.
I had a question.
Sneaky Pete.
It's the same. Pistol Pete. Peter. All of that. This is essentially the same team as last year. Same talented group of guys, pretty much.
I think your starting pitching is better. I think your defense is better. I think your bullpen's better.
Hitters?
I was told not to be negative.
I'm just asking because I was talented. Pitchers, we started off hot, and it's kind of cooled off a little bit, starters and bullpen. My question for Pete is, if this is essentially the core group of guys, a few additions here and there, did we not get enough last year? Did we not see enough last year? It's the same group, 91 losses. Mm-hmm. Kind of feel a little bit like we're headed down that same path. Only one game better than at this day last year.
Yeah. I think if the team were more 500, I could see Pistol Pete's argument. Like, hey, let's just they're hovering around 500. They're more average than bad. But when you look at the statistics offensively and you see every single category, you are in the bottom 5, if not the bottom 3. You don't hit for power. You don't hit for average. You don't get on base. When you do good at get on base, you don't drive those runners in. You don't steal bases. You don't do anything well offensively. You don't do a damn thing well offensively. If every player went up there and you averaged, I don't know, 4 hits batsman a game, but like, all right, that's at least something. You get drilled in the head 4 times a game. I'm like, okay, all right, at least they do that well. You don't do anything well offensively. If you're around 500, fine. You're 7 games below 500, and you have a run differential that's pathetic.
I'm glad you got to that point, Anthony, because that's where I was going to get to. In the division, plus 42 for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Really good.
Plus 15 for the Chicago Cubs.
Pretty good.
Minus 34 for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Not great at all.
Minus 3 for the Cincinnati Reds. Who's at the basement with you? Minus 50 for your St. Louis Cardinals.
Say that again. Minus 15. Minus 15, you said.
No. 5-0. Adam Wainwright. Minus 50.
Whoa.
That's his number, not his play. That's his number. Minus 5-0
That's
in
not
run
great.
differential.
It's not great, Anthony. I know we're trying to be positive, but we're allowed to analyze numbers and realize that that's not great.
No.
I mean, you're in the basement with the Cincinnati Reds, and they're -3, which to me means that they're playing games that are closer.
Or they're scoring more runs.
Okay, maybe. I don't think so. But maybe. And maybe they're having games where they're blowing people out. Okay. -3 in run differential. And you all are in the basement together. -50. Which to me says that the hitting and pitching not on the same level.
Yeah.
Not on a good enough level.
What if I said that last year?
What if I told you?
What if I told you that last year was in the past, as was last night?
That's this year.
And let's focus on tomorrow.
Okay. All right. I'll try that. I'll wear my red glasses as soon as I get in here. Hell with it.
That reminds me of that ESPN 30 for 30.
What if I told you?
What if I told you?
Yeah.
That legends never die.
Oh, nice. Got it in. Carey, that was not my feeling.
Well, I just
that was left. That was left in our. That was left in our mic in our snake pit.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Calling CD out. This is the fast last. All right. Focus on tomorrow.
That was the guy Brandon again.
I'll try.
What's wrong with Brandon today?
I'll try to focus on tomorrow.
I think he's been very clear. Sick and tired of your attitude.
I'm sick and tired of the damn Cardinals losing. How about that?
Well, I am too, Carey,
right.
but it's not going to help if you just continuously.
All right. I go to the games just like at the Blues games. I say shoot the puck, they don't shoot. I go to the Cardinal games. I say score runs, they don't score. So what other route or path do I have for success?
Well, I don't know. You've got a 4-hour radio show. Why don't you try to say something positive about the players?
Go Cards.
No, something specific
Go Cards.
about the player.
As a whole, go Cards.
Anthony.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
You guys want the second question?
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Maybe a less snark from this one. From the 636, would really... Oh, okay. Here we go. Between football and hockey, what playbook is the most difficult sports playbook to learn, and how long does Jamie and Carey, or Corey, or... says Corey, or Carey, think it would take the average person to learn a pro playbook?
Well, the football playbook is way more difficult.
How long would it take the average person to learn it?
No. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to know the sport. You'd have to play.
Not if you don't have a clue.
It would seem like hieroglyphics.
What the hell? They would look at that thing and what the hell am I reading?
What's the most complicated play that you had to learn? Like the name of it and then what you had to do.
I can give you a play and so let's say you go explode to near right, F right, 2 jet alley, can, 5 slant, can, jet 2 dagger.
That's all one play.
That's 3 different plays I just gave you. You got to be able to, or Apple, you can be able to change all 3 of them.
Gotcha.
But there is, I can't remember a specific play that has a long tag that is one play, but that's 3 different plays. And when he says can or Apple, that's the change to a different play. And I just gave you I gave you a shift, a motion, a play, a run play, a pass play, a run play, and then another pass play, depending on what the defense does.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I have no idea what you just said.
Exactly.
I'd get blown up.
Probably. Hopefully you're not the quarterback.
I've seen football playbooks, and they're like...
I sent you all a message yesterday with Chase Daniels. He posted a video of his playbook when he was with the Saints and from 2016. Go on Chase Daniels' Instagram page and look at just look at how thick it is, first of all, the playbook. See how thick this playbook is and see just him explaining a play. That's one play. The breakdown of it, how to get in and out of that play. And oh, by the way, after I call said play, I got to know where the hell the ball is going if I'm a quarterback. As a running back, I got to know who the hell I'm blocking or what pass route I have to run after that linebacker doesn't blitz. If I'm a receiver, I have to know, this can translate into a different route depending on the coverage. It's so much to know. That's why when people are dumb jocks, yeah, whatever. You sit your ass here and learn this damn playbook. Let's see if you can tell me what the hell's going on by the end of the day.
And then take a beating.
And then get up and go hit somebody and do it again.
Well, and then the other team is defending it.
Right.
It's not like it's on air.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
At least the other team, their playbook is see ball, get ball.
See
Yeah,
ball,
that's true.
get, find ball, get ball. One
Yeah.
My favorite play is the oop-de-oop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an
a
easy
good
one to remember.
Yeah. Well, the key to the oop is you want to bunch to one side. You want to isolate. Have your best receiver isolated one-on-one to the other. Beauty of the oop-de-oop.
Okay.
Hockey, though, there's no playbook. You just sort of learn systems, and then you execute them as the game goes on. Or you try to.
It's more fluid, isn't it?
What's that?
It's more fluid. Like
you have a defensive zone structure that you apply, but it's read and react,
Right.
a lot of it. You have neutral zone coverage, you have set breakouts, you have power play breakouts. Like, it's not like we just have nothing to learn.
Right.
You have to learn it, but it's not comparable to football, and certainly not comparable to the football playbook.
Right.
Like, we don't have guys calling out plays and audibles in the middle. The game is the audible.
Correct.
Like when you go to make a play on the power play that you have a set
Yeah.
system or a set play that you're trying to do, and the other team's in the way, we don't call out Omaha. The audible comes.
Flying V!
The audible comes
what
by
they're doing.
what the players do and
Right.
react with, and then you adjust from there. So there's a lot more. I believe there's a lot more read and react once the play's going.
Basketball is probably a mixture of the two.
Yeah,
you
they
have
have set
five
plays.
different set
Yeah.
plays, and that's why you'll see guys kind of
Yeah.
like walking down the court yelling out, or not even yelling out, but like throwing
Putting
up different
numbers
fingers
or
and stuff.
hand signals. Yeah, they have set plays in basketball. I'm sure they have a playbook, but I refuse to believe that anyone's playbook is as
there's no way.
thick as the ones in hell, even college
Yeah.
football. I guess a lot. And then you gotta go to class. Then the teacher expects you to read this novel and write a 10-page paper.
Yeah, that's when you hand it off to the hot girl. Be like, you got this,
Karen.
I will forever be grateful to you, Karen.
Nice.
Thank you for your service.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Amazing. All right, we have Bet the Board, 3 stars of the day. Criticisms, compliments next.
40 shots in both games. 57 in game 2, 47 in game 3. However, as of recently, the shots have not been up there, and I think they have seen, okay, you don't need to shoot the puck all the time to win these games. So I'm going to take under 30.5 saves for Igor Shesterkin tonight.
Okay.
Under.
There you go. All right. I'm going to go back to the team total. I actually like the Mets over team total, and as I went to go look at their odds, I realized they're already up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. So
Can't do that.
I may have been on the right play, but unfortunately, it already started. So, same idea, though. I think the A's are undervalued tonight. I think they score more than 3 runs. I think they score 4+. So I'm going to take the over 3.5 for the A's tonight. Team total, over 3.5 at -118.
All right. Well, Marcia, do you see the Rangers winning that game?
Let's go, Rangers.
I hope so we don't have to wear a Speedo.
Well, you all backed out of the bet.
Yeah, that's true.
did?
Yeah, we backed out.
Oh, okay. I don't care if they win or lose now. Hey, come back and win. Whatever.
Okay, I'm going to go the Rangers. I think they are plus 130 on the money line. So I'm going to take the old New York Rangers.
There you go. And Jamie did give us his pick, but now I forget it.
He had the
Vancouver Canucks money line.
All right, there you go. All right, that's bet the board. What do you got for criticisms and compliments?
Well, today was a doozy of a day. A lot of stuff coming in, but one of my favorite texts that we got today was questioning whether or not, Anthony, your hair was real.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, that's a beautiful head of hair there, buddy.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, well, jealous.
I do need a haircut, but
it's all yours.
Absolutely.
You're holding on strong, man.
Thanks.
You're proud of yourself.
I mean, it's doing the old Michigan Wolverine helmet. It's going back, but
it's still there though.
That's okay. Yeah.
Speaking of the Michigan Wolverine helmet, did you see the Giants' new alternate jerseys?
Yeah, I think
New York
I think
Football
they're terrible.
Giants.
I think they're awful.
They have the Michigan Wolverine helmets, and they have what looks like a hockey jersey, the Montreal Canadiens.
Do you like it? Because I thought when I saw it, like my first response was, "That's the worst uniform I've ever seen." Next to green, like the Packers.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. What, the circle logo, and they were like
the Packers had like the blue one.
Yeah, it was like puke brown or puke yellow.
The Packer, yeah,
that was terrible.
Terrible.
That's a terrible color combination.
Yes.
The brown pants. I mean, I probably wouldn't have a problem with the helmet and the jersey, but those pants are. You should have went with like a blue or a red or something. I don't know.
What are they, like ugly tan or something?
Yeah, tan.
Probably because it's like a quote unquote throwback.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
usually they do like throwbacks with those kind of colors.
Yeah. But they got a 1938 helmet. That was their helmet. 1933 jersey. You probably could have went with the 1988 pants. I don't know. It's kind of a throwback. They went with a 1925 pants and sock.
Look, I think somebody
alternate uniform.
I think somebody needed to try a lot harder.
I will say though, it is fun to be able to wear those throwback uniforms. We got to wear I don't know which one it was, what year it was for, what anniversary it was, but we got to wear like the gold helmets with the black jerseys and white pants, which is completely opposite of what we wear in Pittsburgh.
Did you wear the Bumblebee jerseys?
I didn't wear the Bumblebee ones.
Okay.
I didn't want to though. I wish I
Wait,
could have.
what jersey did you wear?
We had black jersey with white pants and a gold helmet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause when you said that, I'm like, that's your uniform. That's the Steelers uniform. But I get it. So you flip the white pants and got it.
Yep.
All right.
All right, let's get to our 3 stars of the day before we get out of here. Our 3rd star of the day is going to go to the Snake Pit.
Yeah, Snake Pit.
Because they were just very lively today, and they're always supporting. So good for them. Good for the Snake Pit. Our 2nd star of the day goes to Travis Feeney's energy. Love his energy.
Oh,
yes. He's awesome. He's a great interview.
And then our first star of the day goes to Antolino's.
Dropped us off some pizza and some toasted ravs. We do appreciate it. And it's all because they got their Guns N' Hoses block party coming up on June 15th from 4:30 to 10 o'clock. They're going to have all kinds of stuff for kids and for adults. It's going to be a fun night, and all the proceeds from the event will go directly to Guns N' Hoses to help support our first responders. So don't miss the night. It is, again, June 15th from 4:30 to 10 o'clock. And we appreciate Antonino's dropping off the great food, man. Great pizza, great toasted ravs. It was awesome. All right, that'll do it for us. For Andrew Marsh, for Jamie Rivers, for Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. Appreciate everybody listening and watching and just being a part of the show today. See ya.